Welcome everyone to season 3, episode 4. I didn't write that in the title. Cool. That's where we are. 3-4.
It's season 3.
Season 3, episode 4.
Yep.
That's where we are.
Season 3. Yeah.
I don't want to do this to you guys.
Episode 34, I think you said.
34.
Yeah, because last time was 33.
33.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Next is gonna be 350.
350 is the new. That's the new goal.
It's a new goal.
Squad goal 350.
350.
Yes.
350.
Absolutely.
350. How's everyone doing tonight?
Good.
Can't complain. Well, except for my little fancy water cooled PC is having problems.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Because I got a faulty fan. So it's like making all kinds of noises and stuff. So I got to return this like one fan.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I still need to find my Ethernet cable box that I packed it up in so I can actually run Ethernet back to my computer. By the time I do that, we'll have our renovation done. I'll be like a completely different place where I don't have to do that anymore. But anyway.
Yeah, wait. By the time we're done with what? The book?
By the time I unpack enough to find the Ethernet cord to run.
Oh, okay.
I guess I could just order one. I could just buy another one, but I have like
a cord?
I have 500 feet of Ethernet somewhere packed in a box.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, I mean, Eternet's cheap as heck, man.
So. I know, but I already have it. So I'm going to buy more.
Now, I know that feeling where it's like, oh, I don't want to buy it again.
I already have it.
I already have it.
I don't need more.
Somewhere.
It is what it is.
The El Frugale in me will not allow it. I'm like, no, I can't buy it again.
Yeah, congratulations to Belt to Profit again. He got the Win in Truth since that book is now out. It is on the way. I actually got a notification it's been shipped, so he'll get the hardcover copy of him.
Oh, that's the person that won my my trivia question, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Very good. Congratulations.
So you got the new book. That's a hardcover copy of Win in Truth. That's on its way to Canada.
Very cool.
Canada?
What?
Belted Profits from Canada?
I guess so. Sorry, didn't mean to out you. Now we know that Belted Profit lives in Canada. And now it's one of the how many million people live there. We've narrowed them down.
Third largest country in the world.
There's so many freaking people from Canada, though. It's like every time I turn around, especially technology people, there's like a lot of technology people that are based out of Canada. So
I mean, according to that interview with with Trudeau, it might be from the 51st state or something. So I could have just waited for free shipping, but it's not.
Yeah, and our post office, Canada Post, is on strike right now. So
that's
what?
Oh
no!
You guys in the rest of the world,
your Thanksgiving.
Everything's burning around the world. Syria collapsed. France is on the verge of collapse. Germany's
Syria was trepidatious at best since Arab Spring. Come on now.
South Korea's having issues. It's all over the world. Everybody's having issues right now.
It's a mess.
Yeah, I mean that's the only country that survived the Arab Spring, and somehow or another, Assad. Thank you. Yeah. But Bashar al-Assad, I think his name. Yeah, this guy. He had a rocket attack. He basically almost died in that. I mean, he was just he was clinging. He was like, I can do this, and I was like, I don't think so.
We might have let me see. We might have Syria listeners, so I might have to be careful what I say.
Okay, but like now.
No, you're just recounting facts. That's all.
Profit?
Huh?
I want to know what province Belted Profit's from.
Yeah, what province, man?
I'm not gonna call him out on that. I know, but I'm not gonna.
Okay.
If he's willing to share in chat, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Of course.
I mean, that's like sharing from a state. Like Alonda and I from Virginia. There's a lot of people in Virginia, so good luck.
I mean, that guy could be from the Yukon though, and it's like it could be anywhere, right?
I see them in here right now, so I'm asking the chat.
I'm asking the chat.
Yay, me too. Ontario.
Let's see. Do we have listeners? I'm going through right now and see if we have Syrian listeners. We have Turkey, getting close. Saudi Arabia. Nope, we do not have any listeners in Syria. So the next task is while you're in the middle of change, is find someone in Syria to listen to our podcast.
What about Iraq? Is there anybody in Iraq?
No, there's not. Only we have Israel. I'm talking Middle East here. Israel, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia.
I was trying to think of some Syrian adjacent places.
Oh no, Serbia. Oh no, that's Serbia. That's Serbia. Never mind.
That's little different.
No, wait, UAE as well.
UAE. Okay, got you. Right.
Yeah, we have UAE.
Kind of in the same area, so yeah.
United Arab Emirates. Cyprus,
Yep.
which is, I guess, half of it is. That's contentious. At best.
Of course, it's interesting. We ask people what continent the Middle East is in, and everybody's like,
Asia.
And I'm like, it's Asia, right? And they're like, what? That's not Asia. I'm like, yeah, it's Asia.
It's very large continent.
Yeah, we have
Asia is freaking enormous.
Canada is our number 4 for our biggest audience. So we have United States is number 1.
Wait. Okay, 1, got it.
Yeah,
2.
this is a good trivia question. 2, who's our second biggest country? All right, this is fun. Who have most listeners at Cosmere Reach?
I gotta go England. I'm gonna go England.
United Kingdom's number 2.
I'm gonna say United Kingdom.
United Kingdom's number 2. Yeah.
Okay, so and Canada's 3. So I'm gonna say
Canada's 4.
I mean 4. So 3. Let me guess. Give me a second.
Hold on, I want to guess. You guess.
Oh yeah, go, Tree, go.
But I don't have anything. I just wanted to also be included.
No. You just logic it out, Tree. Logic it out. Think about it. It's gonna be English. You have. And by the way, I have based this off of watching Water Holiday. Think about countries that participate in things like Water Holiday and stuff like
7,
that.
8, 9, and 10 are all non-English speaking.
But 3 is not. I'm sure 3 is English speaking.
3 is English speaking. The top 4 English speaking. But after that, we got to after we get to 11.
English speaking, and I bet you I've got 3.
Okay, and it's not Canada, and it's not
UK.
US.
Think about where science fiction is popular, English speaking.
I don't know, Orlando. You got this. I just wanted to be included, but I didn't really try.
I'm guessing Australia.
That's number 3, Australia.
Boom, got it.
Oh!
Yeah.
Hey, again, I'm a logic guy. Give me the opportunity.
Then we got Austria at number 5.
Oh, Austria, that's a good one.
Austria's number 5, and then we got the Norse region, Norway, Finland, Sweden coming in the next 3.
Yeah, because we got some fans out there. Obviously, we had some participants on the podcast,
and then 9 and 10 are the Netherlands and Germany, and then we get New Zealand. So we get another English speaking.
Got it.
Germany was the one that kept rattling around my brain. I'm like, no, there's probably one above Germany.
Yeah, Germany's
and
a good one.
we have a lot of Australians in the Wheel of Time community. So
that's the reason why I knew that, because
you're so smart, Orlando.
Water Holiday helped me remember that too, because I watched some Water Holiday and I was like, man, that reminds me of some other things, and I was thinking about our other international listeners, and
I was literally hanging out with an Australian in my living room watching Water Holiday.
It's so interesting.
See,
so
you were right there.
I know.
It's interesting because of population sizes, but we have listeners from Bangladesh, but not from India.
Okay, that's interesting. I wonder how that gets broken down.
Austria, wow, sail there, Ellen? In Austria? No, it's pretty much a landlocked country. I did not sail in Austria. I sailed in Australia. I sailed with Austrians before, but I've not sailed in Austria. I've been to Austria, been to Vienna, and in Salzburg, which I guess is technically, is this Germany or is it Austria? It's always
Salzburg is still Austria.
It's Austria. Okay, yeah. Salzburg. Yep. Yeah, so I've been to Austria. I never sailed there. Yeah, been to Switzerland, Austria.
Do we have one of those maps? One of the communities I participate in, they have a map, and all it is everybody puts a little pin where they're from.
Yeah.
Do they have that for our community?
They do for the Wheel of Time. 100% do.
Yes.
Okay, we should do that.
I'll show you that after, Orlando.
Okay, cool.
There's one for the Wheel of Time where people go and pin, and it's pretty cool. It's
good deal. I like seeing that stuff, all our participants, and where where their home is at.
DK Moon's from Louisiana. All right, some Cajun speakers.
Ooh,
Cajun. Oop, just dropped my phone.
I love how I asked about the province that they're from, and then I'm from California. I'm from Louisiana. Those aren't provinces.
From Virginia. Yeah,
I've been here
of
long
course.
enough.
If you guys listen to the Will Read, you guys know that we're from Virginia. You even know we're from Newport News, which is not a small city.
We've said enough Newport News stuff that people probably know by now. And they're like, oh gosh, more of this Newport News trivia nonsense.
And I mean, I love seeing where everyone's from, but that just kind of cracked me up.
Good old bad news, VA. Newport News has 300,000, 250,000 people, something like that. It's not small.
I looked at the population recently? I think it was like 300.
Well, I mean, Hampton Roads, like the region we're in, we're one of 7 cities, and the 7 cities is like 2-3 million that live in
2 million. Yeah,
it's like 2 million. Yeah.
Yep.
So. The province of Virginia. It's the Commonwealth of Virginia. We are a Commonwealth. We're not a state. It's actually officially we're one of the.
We're under 200,000.
We're under 200.
Are you one
as
of
of 2023? We're at 183.
Ooh, we lost some people.
Yeah, we probably have, because I remember when I was working for the school division, we were at 200,000.
Probably that murder rate.
No, it actually has to do with the military.
I don't like that.
So with military restructuring, they've actually, even though the military bases are still open, they're able to do more with less people. So
yeah, well, that when they combined Fort Eustis with Langley, that
I mean, there's that. There's like even we have the largest naval base in the world, and even that is like reduced terribly. And like Alan's saying, we're 7 cities, so it's like we're all like together. So you can't really think of it as like, oh, I live in Newport News, so I work in Newport News. No, you live in Newport News, you might work in Virginia Beach, you might work in Williamsburg, you might work wherever. Right. And so when you have like a reduction in force for military bases, it has an impact on all the cities around here. So yeah.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, but it's a nice little place we call home. It's fun.
Lovely.
Speaking of which, I was away from home all weekend, so that's I was in Waynesboro.
Stanton area, basically. Yeah,
I was in Stanton too. Yeah, we went to Stanton for.
That's right. That's where Happy's from. She's from there.
Yeah, that's my wife's from there. So they visited the in-laws and went to Lego Expo, which was really cool.
That's really cool. Yeah,
it was and it wasn't. So
oh no.
Yeah, so I love these kind of events. If it was so, the problem with any kind of one of these like expos or like these traveling like Lego type things, like where it's like a Lego festival. It was like the Brick Build University Lego Building Festival, and it's a touring festival that goes around. Like 40% of it is actually like build stations, and the kids can build stuff, and like there's tons of different Legos and lots of things, and like really cool like build stations where you can actually interact and build. And then probably about 10% of it's like really cool like Lego art design where people are showing off like stuff they've built, and it's really cool. Right. And so 40%, 10%, and then 50% is just vendors and people trying to sell you Legos.
Oh, of course.
So the problem with taking a bunch of a 6-year-old and a 5-year-old to an event like this is we were going there really just to do the build parts, but because you have to walk through the vendor parts, you had to balance the keeping them excited about building while dashing their hopes and dreams about not buying the $1,000 set that looks amazing that they want to buy. And like, I want to buy that train that costs $600. Like,
there's a reason why you don't take a child to a Lego store. Yeah, I mean, I went to the Lego store in freaking Denmark. Yeah, and it was like, I mean, cool. By the way, I went to both of them.
I've been to Orlando's Legoland. I've been
fancy. The ones in Denmark, of course, Denmark, that's like the origination, the home. And I went to like the 2 like major stores, like their flagship stores. And the stuff that they had on display there was like crazy cool. Don't think you're going to walk out of there with some single digit, like, Lego pack purchase, like $5. Nope. These are like huge, like elaborate, blah, blah, blah things with like glass enclosures and stuff. And you're paying like hundreds and in some cases thousands of dollars because their economy is extremely strong. So the conversion rate was not good for the dollar, unfortunately.
They had what is it? At Legoland, went there in August, went to Legoland in Florida, and they had for sale the Millennium Falcon, the giant one that's like in a giant box that's like the giant size one that's $1,000 for the Millennium Falcon. And I was joking around with my wife saying we need to put that in the cart, and my daughter, Swedish, she was 4 at the time, she's 5 now, she was like, Dad, I'll save up my birthday and Christmas money and buy that for you for Christmas. And I was like, how many Christmases are you going to save up for? I was like, yeah, thank you, honey.
That's
so
but
sweet,
no,
though. It's so sweet. But you have no concept of money.
I'll share some of the pictures that we took, but they have the flagship ship that Anakin flew in Clone Wars.
Okay.
Made out of Lego, and that thing was like $1,300. It is under glass and it's huge. And I took all the pictures of it. I have to share that. And they say it takes like, I think it was 180 hours to assemble, something like that. I think I remember.
Dude, some of these like designs, like I can show you my phone. Like this was, I don't have the camera show it that well. But that's
turn it sideways.
Let me see if there you go.
There you go.
So
that's man, that's
So that it's Alice in Wonderland's castle, the Red Queen's castle. But like it sit on the bottom of how many hours it took them to assemble this. But it was the thing was like gigantic. like
I love it. I love Lego.
Yeah. I mean, I love Lego. I mean, if I could justify, because they have a Black Panther Lego, it's like he's like this, and I keep wanting to get it.
I saw
and
it.
then you have to buy another set to make it light up. I'm like, the Legos themselves are like $300 for that.
Yep.
You still got to assemble it. Then you got to buy the light set, and then I'm like, all I need is my niece and nephew to come through here, see that thing sitting up on my shelf, and then they can play with it, and I'd be hella pissed. So.
Now we just need some Stormlight Legos, and then we can
Stormlight Legos. I don't know. I don't see that coming. I don't see that coming, man.
Yeah, I don't know. People have custom ones.
Zool says her daughter has a 5,000 piece Millennium Falcon. I would love to see a pic of that. Zool would love to see that. Oh my gosh! And then they have that the Death Star.
Yeah,
just like
the one that you can take apart. They had like a comedy one where someone like dropped it and like fell.
That was in Spider-Man. One of the Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I think it was. Yeah, and he drops it. Yeah. Anyway, so on this hour of Lego power,
of Lego reads,
the Cosmere builds.
Yeah. That's the new podcast we just started.
Books? What books?
I feel like Alan and we create a new podcast every
week. Yeah. So the 5,000 piece one is that
crazy.
That's the $849 one, I think.
Oh no, it's a lot more than $849. It's got to be because that one's not even available anymore.
No, it's for sale.
Is that not the big boy?
The big boy is that one.
There's two Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, there's two. This is the big box one.
Okay.
You buy at Target right now for $849.
Oh well, then that's not the one because there was one that's discontinued, and it's
okay.
The discontinued one is the one that I thought Zool was talking about. And it's like I'm going on eBay right now. I'm trying to see if I can find one because they're like crazy expensive. You want
well, this one's the 7,541 pieces. So that's the big one.
That's probably it then. So
yeah, that's a 7,000 piece one. That's big. Cosmere builds would be epic. Yeah. The 7,000 piece, there's actually a challenge where if you buy that one, you have to complete it before you can watch all 9 cinematic release movies. So you try to watch the movies and try to beat it a bit faster. Yeah.
Alan, remember you used to do the Minecraft builds?
I did, yeah. I thought about doing that again.
Those.
I know, that was so much fun. I did a Wheel of Time Minecraft build, and I used to Twitch stream it.
And I just went in there and just harassed you.
Yeah, it was fun. I thought about busting back out again. And doing a Shattered Plains one, but that would just be me just digging giant castles.
That Lego set, if Zool's got the one, and you're saying 15 years ago, yeah, I think we're on the same page here. That set right now in box goes for $2,800.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's insanity, man.
Yeah.
Hey, you know how the deal is. It's like it's only worth someone's willing to pay for it.
Dude, didn't you, like my son found a Minecraft set that he wanted for Christmas and it's discontinued, so you can't buy it in stores anymore. So we went on eBay. Like if you find a Lego set that's discontinued, the value of those things, is so it was not even a big set, and it was $1,600. I was like, right, I love you, 6-year-old son, but
I'm gonna give this piece of advice to all the youngins out there right now. If you really want to invest in something, invest in nostalgia. So the stuff that you like now, grab that stuff new in box. Like for example, when I was growing up, it was G.I. Joes. I mean, you remember those things, Alan. If you have G.I. Joes and Transformers in boxes, I mean, even Mask. I don't know if people remember Mask. Those were the cars that could turn into like airplanes and stuff. If you have those things new in boxes, they go for money right now.
Mhm.
So if you really want to make some money, get the nostalgia stuff now. Brand new, keep
They
it in
stopped
box,
making it.
put it away in your attic, and then 15 years from now,
Yeah.
watch. People are gonna get nostalgic for it and they'll be like, I'll
Yep.
pay you the ducats for it.
Yeah.
For me, it was Beanie Babies and those
Oh.
Furbies.
Yeah, Beanie Babies, man, that was a rough one. There's a whole documentary about that
If
thing.
you
and,
if you
That was
can get
my,
an
like,
original,
Beanie
if you can
Babies
get
everywhere.
original, then NES Mario still in box.
oh, that thing goes for crazy money, but it's got to be new in box.
It's gonna be in box, never opened.
Nope, I have plastic on it, which
Yeah.
most people don't even realize. It's like, oh yeah, I've got this. And it's like, nope, that's not the same. You got to
Not
be
the same
new in
thing.
box.
New in
Yeah.
box. Yeah, never.
And now they
used.
grade them the same way that I grade my well, I don't have the comic books graded up here anymore. I took them all down. But
Yeah,
getting comic
grades
books
is great.
graded.
Yeah, PSA.
Yeah, the
grades
grading
now.
companies. Yep, you can get your boxes graded and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
One of my German friends, actually, Alan might know her too, Anna, was talking about how they have like a Lego library. So you can rent a Lego set, take it home, build it, and then return it and get another one. And if you bring it back with like all the pieces and everything's in good condition, then you get like points towards bigger, better Lego sets.
What?
So smart.
That is the greatest thing I think I've ever heard.
A Lego library.
I would love that because I love the
Yeah.
challenge. I like the time-based challenge of that, right? So now it's like I got to build it in like a week or however much time they give you.
Yeah, and then you don't have to keep it. I mean, like a lot of people like
Right,
because
I don't want to keep
it. It's kind of clutter, you know? So,
yeah. I mean, I love putting the things together, but I don't like really want to display it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Lego library.
It's like puzzles. It's like puzzles. You put together a puzzle, but like you're not gonna actually put the glue on there and like frame it.
Which some people do, but
some people do. I know.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mean, we have now basically sidetracked this
speaking
podcast
of
for 30 minutes.
Rare antiquities and
We are
items.
so sorry, everybody.
Chapter 8, near the flame. Oh wait, I didn't.
That's right. We read a book. That's right.
Oh yeah, we did. We did that.
We're supposed to be talking about a book or something like that. Hold on, I think I'll pull up the epigraphs. I do this every week where I don't have it pulled up, and I should have it.
Oh, you mean the obitugraphs?
The obitugraphs. Yeah, I know it's spoilers.
I know. I changed my name, so you don't have that as a reminder.
So 8, victory. We stand atop the mount. We scatter them before us. Their homes become our dens. Their lands now are farms, and they shall burn as we once did in a place that is hollow and forlorn. Collected on Ishanon 1172, 18 seconds pre-death. Subject was a light-eyed spinster of the 8th dawn.
Now that caught me off guard. Spinster? I was like, what?
Spinster.
What? I mean, what is this, a 1940s yarn being unraveled?
She never
Who
married.
knows?
She's a spinster.
Yeah. All I thought of was It's a Wonderful Life. She's an old maid.
Yeah.
You know, he talks about his like wife and and it's like she's a spinster, you know. I'm like, oh
yeah,
no.
But isn't spinster like a derogatory term for an unmarried older woman, right?
Yes, it's
supposed to be
unmarried
Honestly,
older
that's what I
woman
strive to be
who
at this
never,
point in my life.
never settled down, you know. That was rough.
If I can grow up and be
I love how she's like screaming
independent spinster, I will have
But see, that's the thing. So now it's an independent woman. Back then you were a spinster.
I want to know what happened because she's screaming victory. We stand on the mountain. It's 18 seconds before she dies.
I know.
Victory won, and then a bolt.
Yep.
Like,
and she slipped off a rock and fell
win.
to her death. There it is.
She slipped and fell. We won.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's get right into this. Jasnah is right there scolding Shallan. So that's how we start. Telling her that the decision's already made. Why are you here? I've already made a decision. You know, and Shallan's embarrassed that she's disturbed Jasnah yet again. And she leaves, and Jasnah's like, okay, I feel kind of bad. All right, come back, girl. Come back. All right.
I got Fight Club vibes on this all day long. The scene where they got the guy standing on the porch, he's like, "Why are you here?
Here,
No,
yeah.
you're bothering us." Whatever. I got some. I could not stop thinking about Fight Club the whole time I heard this thing.
Jared Leto. It's Jared Leto.
What?
It's the guy on the step, the blonde hair.
Oh yeah. Jared Leto. Yes,
Leto.
right, with the blonde hair. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Jared Leto.
He had a face so pretty, he just wanted to break it.
Yeah. But Jasnah calls her back and apologizes. It's this is gaslighting 101. You yell first, you scream, make him leave, and like, oh, come back, I actually love you.
That's Meatloaf. That's the Meatloaf scene where it's like, Ed Norton tells him, no, come back.
Hold on. It needs to be played.
Emotional damage.
Now that one fits in. That one fits in. Well done.
Okay, but that has been me all week with the emotional damage because I just finished watching Arcane. Oh my god.
I have not finished watching it yet, so don't tell me what happens.
I've heard so many good things because it's season 2, right?
It's season 2,
Yeah.
And I hear all the things.
Arcane is so good. I've not finished season 2 yet.
Where are you in season 2, Alan? I need to know.
Earmuffs, Orlando. I'm after they.
Just tell me a chapter episode.
I don't know. It's when V and Powder or whatever Jinx become friends again, and everything kind of gets better. But then they come to invade the peaceful world and the peaceful area.
So you're into it. You're like
I'm into it. Yeah.
6.
Yeah. I'm there. But
yeah,
I'm finished. Yeah. Okay, we're done.
Okay.
That's a big spoiler.
Are we good? Because I'm gonna watch this thing. I promise I'm gonna watch
Sorry
it.
for anybody in chat that's wanting to spoil there.
Oh no.
No Arcane spoilers, please.
String play muted though. Okay, well
done.
Sorry.
Okay.
He's just kidding. That doesn't happen.
I didn't give away anything. I gave names of 2 characters that appeared in episode 1, and I said something about
I wanted to mute myself. But yeah, you guys are probably
that was the most obscure
I'm sorry I asked,
way of
but
it's the most obscure way of explaining where I am.
As what the kids are calling nowadays a bisexual human, I am not okay with this show.
What?
Okay.
Don't tell me anymore. Don't tell me more.
Oh,
because I'm looking forward to watching it.
Everyone's so pretty, Alando. That's all it is.
Oh, really? It's just too many pretty people problems?
Too many pretty people. I can't handle it.
Oh, man. Yeah. You know how it is. And Hollywood is good for that, by the way. They draw people pretty and they cast people pretty. And I'm like, there should not be this many pretty people in one place. That's not right.
Yeah. Arcane's good.
That's unfair.
Arcane's
just know
really
I'm not okay and I'm dealing with emotional damage. That's all you need to know.
Someone was mentioning that it would be really cool if they did Stormlight like they did Arcane, like in that cartoon, or draw type
anime
form.
Yes.
It's not really anime. It's its own it's kind of anime, but it's not. Like Arcane's different.
Okay.
I wouldn't classify as anime. Would you?
It's hard.
I mean, I saw a trailer, so I felt like it was anime, but
but it's a lot higher. Not production value. I don't know. I guess it's kind of, but I don't know.
I'm sorry. I've watched a lot of I'm talking about a lot of Japanimation stuff like that. Yeah. I feel like it was in the same vibe. I mean, now they do elements of 3D and stuff like that with it.
Yeah,
I felt like it was anime through and through. I mean,
Arcane has a distinct art style.
It has a distinctive art style. Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of things
they don't have traditional anime mannerisms like the kind of over the top. I guess they kind of, but it's more.
Well, look, a lot of people say they don't think Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is an anime. This anime, it's got all the vibes of anime.
It's been nominated for anime awards, therefore it's considered anime. Okay, fine.
Absolutely.
Fine. It's anime. It's anime.
Okay, yeah, because I don't know if there's a debate on what is anime and what isn't anime.
But the way the art style that it's done would be really cool for Stormlight. Just the way it's done. The art form is done.
I feel like that's the only way you would be able to accomplish it, to be dead honest with you.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have said.
Alan, message the people. I believe in you.
Yeah, message them all.
Brandon Sanderson said it. Brandon Sanderson said he wanted an anime. He said that
It
before.
has to
He's a
be anime,
huge
though.
anime fan.
Yeah, but I want arcane anime.
But see,
I don't think Hollywood doesn't want it anime. That's
wait.
the problem.
So it has taken probably 15 years now for Hollywood and America to take anime seriously. Because see, in Japan, it is really common to make an adult show in animation and it be respected as an adult show. Now there's still like, like little clicks and stuff to say, no, that doesn't really, count or whatever. But still, it was treated as an adult thing, not a child's medium.
Right.
Here in the States, anything that was animated was considered like cartoonish, even though you had the Bugs Bunny era where it was like adult, right? It was like all adult stuff, adult themes, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
Then it got to a certain point where it's like all like children and, like geared toward young people. And now it's finally coming back around where people are starting to respect the fact that it's like, it's not just a children's medium. So I think we're starting to get to that what do they call that? The tipping point where if you put something out and it's adult themed, that people would take it seriously and be like, it's only anime because it's the only way we could do the representation. And you really get the crux of what the author was trying to put together. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because anime is not for kids most of the time.
Most anime, like, no.
You can name a few. I mean, like Dragon Ball Z kind of passes being for kids, kind of.
Yeah.
Avatar definitely.
Wait.
Avatar
Season
definitely.
1 of Dragon Ball, I remember seeing where Goku was actually slapping Bulma's pussy. I'm just saying that happened in an episode because he didn't know what she was, and he was like, he pulled her underwear down, and he was like,
oh my god,
that really happened.
I mean, hell, Rocco's Modern Life. There's an episode where
oh my gosh.
gets hooked up to a milking machine, and Rocco says, "Aren't you a boy cow?" He's like,
the stuff they used to get away with on them early years of Nick. What was the Nick animation thing? Nick at Night. No, not Nick at Night. Nicktoons. Nicktoons. And they had Ren and Stimpy. They got away with some stuff on Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, they did,
which I loved.
Yeah.
So
back to Fight Club. Jasnah comes back, apologizes, gives Shallan some money, her money pouch that she left behind, and then Shallan asked Jasnah to read the letter she had written earlier for her, and Jasnah's actually impressed. She's like, "Huh, this ain't too bad."
Which she wasn't going to find because it was stuck under a stack of books.
Yeah, I know.
It's like,
she was like. She's like, when'd you learn how to write like this? She's like, I taught myself. She's like, impressive. Okay. It's like, all right,
one eyebrow.
Maybe I will make you my ward, but you got to do the gauntlet of challenge. to like
first, you must bring me
15
a strawberry.
I cut down the longest tree. What a herring!
$14 on a prequel.
You chop it down with a herring. Yes.
Yeah.
Monty Python, always a win, always a good reference.
Always.
Yes.
I should get the 1970 clips. Anyway. Yeah, so has to, once she's adequately learned philosophy and history, and Shallan's kind of pleased by this. At least she has a chance. But she's thinking about it, she's like,
initially pleased.
Years.
Yeah, she's like, it doesn't help me, but I'm flattered.
She's like, wait a minute, I gotta take college classes. Oh no, this is gonna take a long time.
I don't got time. She does not have.
Nope.
She does not have time. So she's like, well, let me go get studying. So she leaves the conclave and goes and meets up with Yob.
I like the fact that she got resolved really quickly, though, because she was about to just walk back to the boat, go back, dejected, tail between legs. And then she was like, no, I'm not going to go back. We're in destitute situation here. We find out that her eldest brother is like disappeared, possibly dead.
Yeah.
And she's like, nope, resolve-o-matic. And she just was like, I'm going to figure this out. And she just like buckles down. She digs deep. And I'm like, I love it. I like that. She just, I got to just make it happen.
Yeah.
Loved it.
So she meets up with Yob. He's gambling with some guards and pulls him aside. And she's like, yeah, I'm winning. He's like, but yeah, gambling's not a good thing. You can lose sometimes. She's like, not the way I play. And she's like, wait, are you cheating? He's like, hey, don't use such harsh words.
Not against one, not two, not three, but four guys. He's cheated them all.
That's impressive. I'm
That
impressed.
is really impressive. The fact that nobody caught on.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah, and they're supposed to expect it of him because he's a sailor.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he was the one that said, "But the third hand always wins."
The third hand.
And, yeah.
He's like, you already went back for 2, but the third one is because that's when you're in desperation mode, right?
Mhm.
That's
The
when you really.
passions, or I think
Yes.
it's the passions, right?
Double or nothing.
Mhm. Yep.
Double or nothing.
Yep.
Gotta go.
So yeah, Yalb insists that she is talented enough to be accepted as a ward and kind of give us some words of encouragement. And she decides to go buy a bunch of books, and this gives her the motivation. I'm gonna go buy a bunch of books right now and start studying right away, trying to impress Jasnah. So she, runs off to the bookstore, because that's I think this is Press by wraps. Before long, however, she's interrupted by Jasnah. So this is before she gets to the bookstore. She decides that, but then she runs back to Jasnah, right? Don't we have another interaction with Jasnah first before we get to the bookstore?
No.
No, I don't remember that. I remember that she leaves there dejected.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Then she runs into Yalb.
Yeah,
Right.
and then Yalb convinces her
Convinces
try
her,
again.
and then she's like,
She goes to the bookstore, but Yalb leaves. So I'm trying to figure out, Yalb's not there. So she goes to the bookstore on her own.
Because first he goes and scopes out and finds 6 bookstores.
Yeah.
He's like, they're all in this little area. He's like,
and then he recommends one.
He's like, just go to this one over here.
Right. And she doesn't come. He doesn't come with her at first. So she
does not go with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She starts picking out books, and I guess so we learn a little bit about Stormlight culture here. So it is frowned upon for men to know how to read.
Because he mentions the book, the shopkeeper, whose name I forgot right now, keeps talking about how things were read to him.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That he could read, but he's probably hiding it. That's what she deduced. Was that he probably could read, but he would never do that in public. His wife would read for him.
Oh, good point. Right.
Because it's a feminine art to be able to read. So it's men aren't supposed to know how to read.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's for girls.
Mm-hmm.
Reading's for girls. It's interesting how they have this very, very structured masculine, feminine art thing.
Right, because it's masculine for him to be the taker of money.
Right.
That was really clearly laid out that he's the merchant, so that's a masculine trade.
Right.
It's for him to take money.
Right.
And
but not to read.
The feminine thing is to be a scholar and know how to read, etc. So,
which is very odd, I think.
Yeah, it did find that kind of a juxtaposition of what you think. Typically, you think it's oh well, the guy's got to be the masculine, scholarly head of the house, and then the woman is just the person who's just exchanging money.
Right.
Yeah, I'm really interested in how they deciphered the gender roles.
Wait, who deciphered?
I don't know who deciphered it.
No, you said you were wondering how they deciphered. I was just wondering what they referred to.
Who said that drawing and reading and scholarly arts is feminine, and being a merchant and fighting and all that other stuff. I mean, fighting is in our universe also masculine.
Right.
But just who deciphered who does what as their gender roles in this universe.
I mean, I could see the being
Society,
the merchant, or the person that is the person who holds the coin purse. I could see that being a masculine thing because crazily enough, I think we talked about this in the podcast before. There was it was recently, within the last 60 years, a woman couldn't actually have their own checking account.
Right.
Which is the reason why divorce wasn't common in the United States.
Credit card.
Because women couldn't have a credit card or their own bank account.
Right. They couldn't have their own stuff.
Yeah.
So it was well, you have
60s.
to stay with the guy you're with, right? That was the unfortunate situation. So I could see that happening in this society. Yeah. What I don't quite understand, though, is the whole learning piece, where it's usually the people who have the access to education are the people who are in power, or literacy was always for the aristocracy and folks like that. So
it probably it probably just got really, really like out of control. Like just the one guy that decided to try to read, and like the dumb joke was like nerd, and like okay, guys aren't supposed to read. Like
Yes. Yeah.
and then it just became a social norm.
Yup.
Like
It became a social norm
makes
now,
sense
like not to
me.
read. Like, oh, dude, I want to be a nerd. Like, I don't want to be a nerd.
That's right. That's
Like,
right.
Yeah.
I gotta have street cred.
Like,
Yeah.
that's how
Class
society
values
works,
definitely
dude.
make sense to me. The gender thing doesn't make sense to me. And it's like, I mean, even in our world, like, yeah, men were in charge of everything. Men never had anything cut off from them other than there shouldn't be homemakers. That's for the women, you know? So I guess there's those kinds of things. But men can do everything, right? But here they're cutting out things for men and women.
Right. It's like really carved out niches where it's like you
Yeah.
gotta do
Yeah.
you can do this thing and this thing, but you can't do that thing.
Yeah, and it's both ways.
Frowned upon. Right.
Yeah. It's odd.
Well,
So anyway, so Shallan gets to this bookshop. She starts talking to the owner about buying some books, and he quotes a price, and she's about to pay for it. Then the album comes back, and immediately just,
Michael.
No, go ahead. Do the
Michael, in order to expedite these negotiations, we are prepared to make you a very generous offer.
And we are prepared to reject that offer.
Here it is. Here it is.
That's exactly what happened.
But I was gonna say he was talking down to Milady though. He was talking down to her like a lot, and then she had to put him in his place. And I like the fact that he was like, "You almost sound sarcastic," or something of the. I'm paraphrasing here. You almost sound sarcastic. She's like, "That's odd. I was being overtly sarcastic," or whatever she says. And I was like, "This lady's coming through with shade on
she's
shade."
got fire.
Oh yeah,
She went in hard, and then he was like looking like tail between legs as he went to go scurry off and get the books that she wanted. I was like, "Good for you, lady," because I mean that's the same stuff she was saying when she was on the boat.
Yeah, and good for y'all to like go around and find who his top competitor was, ask around town, come back and be like,
"Oh man, that was a class move when he came in."
Yeah,
because he said 10, and she looked at her purse and she's got like 8.
Yeah,
and she's like, "There's no way." She's like, "I'm gonna have to negotiate it down to 8." And when he came in with the negotiations, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna get him. He's gonna get him down to 6." Nope, got him down to 2.
2.
Like, what?
Just cut it off. Yeah.
My man's a ninja in a flea market, though. He has to be a ninja in a flea market. He's like, I walked out of there, I paid 35 cents, and I got a car.
Yeah,
has to be.
It's easier to do in other countries where they have broader economies if you're really good at it. Like, just confuse them.
That's true.
It's really tough. But like we did that. So like a lot of times when I traveled overseas, like a lot of economies, America and a lot of the West is different where you don't negotiate price. Like, so America's like you go to a Walmart, like you can't just go pull something up like I'm only going to give you $2 for this $5 item. Like they're like, no, put it back on the shelf. Like that's not how it works here. But in other parts of the world, that's very common. Like it's a starting price. Everything's a starting
price.
They
also have small shops in most of the other parts of the world. So you actually have shopkeepers or people who own places can set their own prices. Whereas here we're owned by like mega companies and you can't, there's no flexibility whatsoever.
Yeah, we did that. Like when I was in Indonesia, we did a lot where we would just confuse them, lost in translation. Like we would negotiate the price for like bus fare. Like bus will pull up and we're like, yeah, how much would it cost to go there? It's like $1. Like 2 cents.
That's crazy.
Like it'll like go back and forth, and whatever, and then finally we get like 10 cents, and we agree to that. Like, all right, 10 cents for all of us, right? And we all hop on. And they're like, "We don't, no." I'm like, "Oh no, that's what we negotiate. We're for all of us."
Look, the best maneuver I have ever learned in all my travels has been put just a very small amount of money in your pocket, and then act stupid. Like I didn't know how much this was going to cost, and when you pull out this like $1 worth or something, you're like, "Oh, I know it's like worth 10. I've only got the $1. What do I get? I don't have any more." And they're like, fine, it works so often.
It does.
And I do that because I'm like, I don't like to negotiate. I'm just like, oh, I just got the $1. Can I get the thing? Can I get half of it for $1? Can I get half of the foods? And they're like, fine, just take the food,
So
works.
That
funny
happened to me a
thing-
lot. Like when I was doing art full time, like commissions and stuff. How many people would negotiate with me my hourly rate, and how many people tried to do that? I was like astonished.
Yeah. Well, because people don't understand the value of art, though.
No, it's
Yeah.
true. They're like, I'm willing to pay this, and I'm just like, well, you can have this, right?
Right.
So it is kind of a back and forth, but like, just how many people had the guts to do that? I was like
Sure.
shocked because I would never go to like an artist and say, maybe you do that for this amount instead of that.
But they don't
amount."
understand how long it takes to make that art and then finishing the art, preserving it, etc. There's a lot of steps
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah.
You know.
It got extreme enough that I finally had to change the way that I did my art to accommodate. I'm like, all right, what's your budget? And then I'm like, all right, I will give you this for that budget, right? Because if a thing isn't made yet, I can kind of adjust like, all right, well, I'm not going to give you this amount of quality.
Right.
You're going to get this, you know?
Right. I'm not
Yeah.
going to shade it. I'm not going to put
Yeah,
watercolors on
exactly.
it. You're just getting, I sneeze in a tissue. There you go. Art.
Yes.
Yes. But I love my man with the
Oh.
negotiations in the bookstore, though. This
So-
guy.
Yeah.
So the funny so when I was in Bali, Indonesia, like I met up an American expat that lived over there, and he taught me a few like words to negotiate in Indonesian. So you can learn how to speak Indonesian, but then each island in Indonesia has like their own dialect or own language. So in Bali they have Balinese, which is not really spoken by tourists at all. Like they might speak some Indonesian, but not Balinese. So he taught me one phrase that means I have no money. And I learned this later that it's really a crude way of saying it. Like it's like super slang, and it's like considered really offensive to say it, but like that's how he taught me to say it, and it worked really well. Which is single piss. It means it literally
Single
like
piss.
it means fuck off. I don't have any money. Like so, like you go down the street and like vendors are trying to grab you everywhere. But the thing about it is like if you say it in Balinese, especially in low form Balinese, like slang, they just assume automatically that you're actually a local expat and not a tourist. So they leave you alone. So like if you're trying to negotiate, you never use that phrase because it just ends all negotiation. Like so if you're actually trying to buy stuff, you'd never use it. But if you're just trying to like walk through a market and not be harassed, that's the phrase to use. It's like
It's interesting you say that because we were in South America. There's like all these vendors doing the same kind of thing, and they're trying to like push all this stuff in front of you, and it's offensive. And you just don't do it. If like a little old lady brings like some food to you and they try to offer to you and they're like, oh, take this thing. And, here in the States, you would just say, no, thank you. You're like, no, thank you. It's offensive. You don't do that.
Right.
If they offer you food, you say thank you, but you just don't take it.
right.
So it's like, thank you for offering it to me, but you don't say no. You just say thank you and just walk away.
Just start singing Golden Girls.
The funny thing is, I went to the market and I said single piss to all of it.
Back again.
Yeah, I couldn't say single piss to all the vendors. And the next day, I walked through the same market and they all recognized me and they're like, "It's the broke guy! It's the broke guy! He has no money!" Like they're all laughing at me.
That broke bitch over there.
It's the broke guy! Like leave him alone! Like I'm like,
yeah, that's right.
thanks,
Don't bother me.
yeah,
Level them up.
broke.
That's right.
Ooh. All right, it was fun matching you, but I gotta take this off now.
Yeah.
Oh look! I'm gonna just because I want to match Tree
My arm is stuck. Oh no!
because she's wearing black under her stuff, and I'm Tree matching.
Stuck.
Now I need to find a black shirt.
Shimmy,
Now
shimmy.
So now we're part of the same mime club.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so Shallan gets the books, goes back to Jasnah to impress her that she's picked up all these books. And
I can't believe she remembered the names though. She locked them in. She was like, and she rattled them off. It's good for her.
Yeah. And and Jasnah interrupts her and says like, "Let me see your satchel." And hands her satchel, and she gets to the notes on biology, and she's like, "These are really good drawings. Like, why'd you make them?" And Shallan's response is like, "Because I wanted to. So I do what I want.
I do what I want. Whatever. I do what I want."
Yeah, and ultimately, it's the fact that Shallan, she pursues scholarship in drawing biology and drawing things in her free time.
Let's give her credit, by the way. That ploy that she played to get in, rent that, like was it called an alcove or whatever it was that she rented?
Conclave.
Thank you. She rented that specifically so it was close enough to Jasnah, so that way she could kind of keep an eye on things.
Mm-hmm.
Then Jasnah just shows up, not realizing that she had already put out the spies to track what her movements were going to be. It was, I mean, it worked out so much better than she could have imagined. Coming back in that space.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
good for her.
It's an alcove in the conclave. There you go.
Yes.
It is. Oh, it was okay.
It's
an alcove in the conclave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
We also skipped over the fact that Shallan gave a drawing of Yalb to Yalb, which was a little
and it's one she really wanted, especially after what he did for her in the bookshop. And she was like, "Oh, I really wanted to keep that one," but
I'll do
really
link. Take a mental picture. I'll draw another one.
Yeah. Did you catch on how she took a mental picture though? She blinked.
Yeah. She blinks.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, she blinked, and so that was her taking a mental picture.
It's a shutter.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. I gotta definitely pay attention to that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for saying that. I did not notice that. So cool.
All right. Everything Brandon Henderson writes might be important.
I mean, well, luckily he writes really short books, so it's gonna be easy for me to just.
It's really short books. So you'll remember everything about Kelsier from book one.
I mean, this thing's a pamphlet. I can go back through this thing and figure out all this stuff.
Yeah, easy peasy.
No problem.
I mean, it was something I didn't notice my first time through either, but this time I was like, "Oh, that's really cool."
No, this is a light read. This is a light read. No problem. I'll go back. I got this.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah. So after Jasnah goes through, she's super impressed. She's like, "You know what? You got it. You can be my ward."
I hope I get it. I hope I get it.
So yeah. So Shallan.
That was the last chapter, though, Alan. I'm so confused.
Step 1 complete. Shallan is now got in there.
You're breaking me, Tree.
Come on, it was perfect.
Okay. Thank you, Tree.
No, thank you.
Okay, sorry, guys.
No, that's fine.
I am composing myself now. I'm good.
You got this.
Shallan's now a ward, and first phase is complete, and now she has to figure out how to accomplish the rest of it without being caught. And that's how we end this chapter.
Yeah.
Great chapter, by the way. Loved everything about it. I mean, I like the fact that she went from like, I don't know how this is going to happen, to the resolve, to Yalb helping her out, to her getting in, and then she was like using her wits. She's like, I need to be close to her just to make sure I'm in this space, which set her up to have Jasnah come in and say, "Hey, you're really taking this stuff seriously. You're going to study the hell out of these books, aren't you?" And she's like, "Yup." And she was like, "Come on."
Are you enjoying the Shallan chapters?
I like them generally.
Okay.
So
on the first read through, most people, I'm just saying, but most people, not everybody, most people like really tie into the Kaladin story, and they're like, "Oh, it's a Shallan chapter." And then on a read through, you're like, "Yeah,
what?
Yeah,
what?
Yeah,
I mean,
because it's action versus like
that.
subtle. Like, I mean, it's a completely different vibe. Like Shallan's plot line is a completely different vibe than Kaladin's plot line.
Well,
like,
yes, I mean, it is a didactic shift from like what you're expecting. I mean, you're reading like all this like blood, guts,
and
slavery, oppression, manual labor. It is like a whole different shift because one is like on an upward trajectory in like I'm gonna use the word a hopeful trajectory, and the other one is basically like depression and like just going down into the depths and being broken. So I can get where it's like it's almost like tearing at your soul. It's like, well, one's like making you feel good and optimistic, and the other one's like, I want to just die in this mud.
Yeah.
I get it. So I understand what people
Yeah.
are saying.
Yeah. All right. Ready to move on to chapter. Anything else from this chapter before we move to chapter 9?
No, I think we've held people up enough.
Damnation.
Damnation.
Yeah, I like Shallan
Damnation.
chapters, and I love the Kaladin chapters. Good, as Azul says. Yeah, Kaladin.
I
All
like them
right.
both for different reasons.
Oh, okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah. So, chapter 9. 10 people with shard blades, all right? Shard blades alight, standing before a wall of black and white and red. Collected on Jasnah 1173, 12 seconds pre-death. Subject was one of our own Ardents, overheard during his last moments. 10 people with shard blades alight, standing before a wall of black, white, and red. Yep.
One of our own Ardents. That feels like a clue.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about Ardents a little bit when we had the chapter last week. Yeah,
Well,
we met. We met. What's his name? Capsule.
Mm-hmm.
Capsule. Yeah.
Capsule.
But Alonda was like, I wonder who is doing all these recordings last week.
Yeah.
So now we know at least there's Ardents involved.
Yeah.
Right.
We know that.
Don't really know a lot about Ardents yet. But...
Yeah. Yeah.
Some very basic information.
We did.
That's it. It's very
trickle over time.
Yes, it's very surface level at this point in time, right?
Yeah. So, chapter 9, Damnation. So, Kaladin's now been a member of Bridge 4 for a few weeks now. Somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks, it says. He doesn't really know. He's lost track of time. Of the 25 who survived the first bridge run, only 2 are left. Him and one other guy.
Yeah, this is some desolate. Whole, I'm going to say it right now, this chapter is like just depressing.
Devastating.
Oh my gosh. Ugh, this is just rough to listen to. But
so they've gone on several bridge runs since the last time, and everyone's died. And and the ones that survived either got transferred to the one and then died there, or they just died at the bridge. Like everyone's dying left and right.
And it's right. And then they get promoted out of Bridge 4.
Just to
go to another spot to die on another. Oh no.
Bridge 4, it does not sound super lucky.
No, not at all.
Which can I just so the connection with the number 4 with I think it's the Chinese where they say 4 is an unlucky number.
Yeah.
And they even have buildings that don't have a 4th floor.
Yeah.
Just like a fun little connection to that.
Yeah. Zul, thank you. Peter Bridgman
4 is death.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's not.
That's the understatement of the year right there, right?
Yeah.
So a couple new arrivals come in. One's a young boy who reminds him of Tien, his younger brother.
Oh, this is terrible. Yeah. By the way, he thought it was Tien until he had to remind himself, oh, he's dead.
Yeah, Tien's dead.
Whew,
in general, Kaladin is handling the transition to bridge crew poorly. He's snapping at Syl a lot. He's become despondent. He hasn't
spoken to her in like days.
Yeah,
at this point, right?
She ends up leaving. Because
she doesn't really know why. She's like, I need to leave.
And I might be able to find you again, but
I might be able to find you again, but I might forget. And, that whole thing was interesting.
And it's just it's not a long chapter, but they get called to another run. The boy who reminds him of Tien's killed in the first run. He goes on, as well as the only other man that was remaining from the crew. So Kaladin's the only bridgeman left.
The description of that scene, though, because it was a guy that was had been hanging around for a while. It was him and that boy.
Yeah.
And when he finds them dead, the arrow through the back, and the blood from his back is leaking onto his face, looking like tears of blood.
Yeah.
Again, it was really horrific to just sit here and just the visual imagery in my mind. I was like, oh man, this is rough.
Yeah. So,
and by the way, he's now done this for how many weeks? This is like we're in like
between 2 and 4 weeks.
Right. So it's like 4 weeks.
That's
4 weeks
crazy.
of him doing the thing that was so dramatic the first time. That was one trip. He's been doing this now for 4 weeks, possibly.
Yeah.
Again, horrific.
Already lost the whole bridge crew except for 2.
Right,
people.
except for 2. Yep.
And then he loses the last one in this. Yeah.
Gone. How is he surviving? You know? It's got to be divine intervention.
I mean, mentally, he's just done. Like, he doesn't care anymore. He's lost all faith. And
Yep.
He's surviving because he's Kaladin. And that's what he do.
That's what he do? Okay.
I don't know why. That's
right.
Yeah.
If somebody asks you why, you just say it's what he do.
But there's plenty of slaves, so like the bridge crews get filled right back up. Like people die and they get filled right back up.
Unlucky soldiers, you
Yeah.
name it. They're just filling it's bodies on bodies. Just
Yep.
like throw some
why do you
human chattel at it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, is that how you view basically the bridge crews at this point? It's just human fodder.
It's human chattel. This is human chattel. Just like throw them under there. They're just things to hold the bridge up and walk forward.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, they are completely expendable and they're easily replaceable. So,
but then he asks the question. He's like, "Well, why don't you just put like shield men in front of us to help?" And then he is told, "Nope, don't ask them questions.
Don't ask them questions.
They're just gonna string you up."
Smack. Pimp hand.
Why do you think they wouldn't? Like, what do you think the logic behind that is?
They said it would slow things down, which
do you believe that?
I don't buy that because I mean, even if you had, and I get heavy shields, etc., and they run in front, what is the urgency? It's all arbitrary unless the thing you're trying to collect is actually based on a particular moment in time. Like, let's say it was like something unfolds at the certain phase of the moon and the stars and the thing, then fine, sure. But then leave earlier. Right? So I don't get the urgency piece. So everything about this just seems really odd to me.
It just seems like a punishment.
Yeah, it's arbitrary and it's just for the sake of just being sadistic.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Cannon or masochistic.
Cannon fodder. Yeah.
Yeah.
The camp that they're in is Sadius's camp. And Sadius and sadistic.
Ooh, I see where you going. I see where you going, lady.
Interesting.
I see how you doing.
Yeah.
See? I didn't think about that till this moment.
See, now your stuff's coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes and he talked about the different bridge runs. You know, sometimes they don't lose any men because they get there before fast enough. And
because of when they get there, and I'm like, well, then why don't you get there at the same time every time then?
Yeah, and sometimes they're too slow and it's already over. But in some other bridge crew beats them there, so there's less loss of life in those ones. But yeah,
does it say where they're trying to go though, Alan?
It just says
where they're trying to get to in time.
Does it say? I can't remember.
Just that they're just trying to go. The only thing it mentions is they're trying to get to those
giant things.
Right, the giant things with the gems in it. That's all I'm going to say. They're trying to get there, but I don't understand what the time piece. There's got to be a time component here that we're not being told.
Yeah, I think they're trying to. I mean, like, because they say when they get there, if the Parshendi are already there. Right, so I think like they're trying to beat the Parshendi, and that's the time frame.
Right.
So obviously they're either going there to protect it being excavated, taken, absconded with, or they're after the same thing. They don't know exactly when it's going to happen. Where I assume it must be like a pod that opens.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Oh, it's open now. We can harvest it," but you got to get there at the right time. Yeah, that's my guessing right now. I got nothing better than that.
And like maybe one is trying to protect it and one is trying to steal it.
Which is what I first thought was protection stealing. I was thinking the same thing.
But aren't they also fighting a war? So what does this have to do with the war? That's the question.
Well, a gemstone sounds like a lot of money.
Yeah.
If it was a war, why would you meet on the Shattered Plains? Nothing about that makes any sense.
Yeah. No.
Because if you're trying to decimate your opponent, you would go to like their camp and you would just be like, I'm going to go to your camp. I'm going to wipe you out.
Yeah. And how long
Right.
has this war been going on again?
Well, it's been since the assassination, which is like, what, 8 years ago?
7 years or something. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, so this has been going on for a minute. I mean, if you were going to go to them and fight them, you would like go to their home country and be like, I'm going to take you out in your house.
Yeah. Well, we don't know where the Parshendi originate from yet.
We don't.
Like maybe they are from.
There's no way to predict when and where they will appear in the Shattered Plains. Yeah, it's like kind of like whack-a-mole. They just like randomly pop up and you have to just run there as fast as possible and try to slam it down before the other person does. It's a giant game of whack-a-mole. That's all this is.
So I feel like though when it came to that, I'm just thinking the first time we did the chapter when they first hit the Shattered Plains, I was thinking to myself, all of this stuff is you're not creeping up on somebody. Mm-hmm. All them chasms create echoes, and that echo is going to just reverberate, and you're going to hear it for like miles. So even if like you were like, well, I'm not ready to attack, you would hear them putting the first bridge down a mile away and be like, well, let's get the troops ready. And, and then you just bring them all out and you just wait to see which chasm they go across because you have to, they have to methodically put a bridge out. And it's a lose situation though, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
For anybody trying to go across the Shattered Plains.
Yep. All right. And that's how we end this chapter. I mean, there's not much more. It's just there. There's a description of just hell.
Yeah.
And him being the only one surviving.
That was a chapter called Damnation, right?
Yeah, that was Damnation.
Oh, I thought it was called Devastation. That's why I made such a big point about that.
Damnation.
Damnation.
Yeah, but Damnation, and he's because it's like, and then he's just you can just tell he's broken. He's done.
Yeah.
Especially when that scene when it's like the blood tears and off the face. He's done. He's checked out. Yeah.
Well, I mean, what we've learned about Kaladin already is, I mean, from that first chapter we met him, like he gathers the people, he protects the people, he wants the people to live and strive or thrive.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And he cannot do anything that is of his own being, like his own willpower, I guess, like of who he is as a person. It's all gone.
Yeah.
So
you guys ready to move to chapter 10?
Yep.
Stories of surgeons.
Yeah, now we get the flashback.
The flashback. 9 years ago. Cal's 10 years old.
Just a baby.
All right,
Cal.
This is right before the assassination, right?
This is, when times were good. This is before everything went to crap.
Yeah.
So, Cal, his nickname as a boy was Cal, and he didn't like his name Kaladin because that sounds too much like a light eyes. He's with his dad. He's with his dad, Liren. And they're treating a young woman named Sani. And he's reflecting over the course of the surgery. His dad's a surgeon. He's the town surgeon. They're lucky to have a surgeon because most towns apparently don't have them. But he's kind of like reflecting on the fact that they had to amputate a finger and how upset the family was about that. But then at the same time, they saved they're lucky they have someone that can do that. And it's like this whole, and he's like, and Liren's trying to teach some life lessons to Callan just about being a surgeon and how, his career works.
Yeah. Cause I mean, the families are appreciative of what you can do, but then once they've accomplished the task, they're like, but you couldn't do more. You couldn't save the last finger.
And isn't that human
now
nature?
She's deformed. Is that situation. Yeah.
I just feel like I want to see you try. Through all the surgical tools.
Yeah, and so Liren ends up amputating the middle finger, and Callan gets there late, and Liren asks him, "Like, why are you late?" And he's like, "Well, I was, out practicing the quarterstaff because I want to be a soldier, Dad." And his dad's like, fuck you are.
Philosophy lesson. Yeah.
The fuck you are.
You do.
Yeah. It's like we're not being, we're not. Yeah. And this is a callback from the previous chapter too. We skimmed over that, but that was something she talked to. He had mentioned this conversation to Syl when they were talking about how my dad used to say that there were two types of people.
Yes, that's right.
He said, my dad said
Yeah, that happened in
in the previous
chapter. Yeah.
Those who save lives and those who take lives.
And he's like, and I thought the third was those who
take lives to save
lives. But then he
realized
says,
there's a
but I
big
think
group
it's
that
actually
just to die.
Yep. He's like, no, I was wrong. It's actually a different group.
Yeah, the ones that are just don't do either. They just die.
It's lemmings that walk off a cliff.
Yeah. But this is where you get a flashback to where this phrase comes from, because this is where his dad's lecturing him about becoming a soldier, and Kaladin's trying to be the moral up ground of I want to be a soldier to save people, and says there's no such thing as saving people through fighting.
Yeah.
Live by the sword, die by the sword, right?
You're going to be a surgeon. I was a surgeon, and apparently counted some skill even at 10 years old. He's like, dude, you're showing more skill than I ever had. Like, we need to boost this up, and you need to be the best surgeon there ever was. And we're going to send
you to school.
Yeah, we're going to send you to the most prestigious school in the world. And I never got the opportunity to do that, but we're going to do that for you because you have the talent for doing it. And Callan's like, I just want to be a merman, Pop. Merman.
By the way, one of you guys is going to remember it. I can't remember what the quote was, but he said something about killing people to save lives is equivalent to something with a storm.
Trying to stop a storm by blowing harder.
Yeah,
by blowing harder. Thank you. And I was like, I need to remember that line. That's a great line. Yeah.
Killing people, even as a soldier, is like trying to stop a storm by blowing harder.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Which
I can't believe he was doing all this when he was 10. I didn't even click in with that because I thought
he was definitely
Kaladin is a lot older than he is.
Something about the way he described like actually reaching up to the table and stuff. I was like, he's short. He's not a tall.
He's a child.
Person.
He's a child. He's 10 years old.
He's just a baby.
But he knows all the things though.
He's smart.
Because she had just got they don't call it anesthetic, obviously, but she had just gotten the root or whatever that was going to put her under.
Winter's root or whatever.
Yeah. So, it was, but he was definitely short and he's like appreciating her and he was like trying to comfort her, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Yeah. And he made the whole comment about like, I don't know why boys freak out about seeing women in their shifts. I don't understand the point.
Yeah, right. Because
he's a 10-year-old.
He's a 10-year-old. He's like, I don't care. Boobies. What?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Just wait a few years till hormones kick in.
Poor guy.
All changes. Eventually Kaladin does stop arguing and just goes back to cleaning up the surgery room, and Lyran starts to quiz him about different surgical procedures. And then tells him, he's really impressed by his knowledge of surgery and that, he's going to send him to Kerberoth to train amongst the best surgeons in the world. And he shouldn't waste any more time learning to be a soldier.
Right.
You're going to be a great surgeon and you're going to save people's lives that way.
But the thing is that, this is so Hippocratic oath of the dad, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how it works. If you're, anybody that doesn't know, that's the Hippocratic oath. You do not do anything to put a person's life in danger. Don't look at this. Man, every so often,
look at this movie, but don't look at that safe hand.
Don't look at that safe hand, though.
I'm pretty sure
especially not the safe pimp hand.
The safe pimp hand. I'm pretty sure it was her safe hand that was the injured one, though.
Yeah. Anyway,
not so safe, apparently.
Not so safe. Yeah. But what you're saying,
it's only an issue if you look at it.
Yeah.
Exactly. No one will ever look at it. So
they worked on it. It was actually gloved the whole time. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't. I missed that part.
Yeah. Had a latex glove on top of it.
Yeah. Shouldn't waste any time soldiering. Don't waste your time soldiering.
So you guys are both dads, right?
Yes.
So how has it gone for you telling your kids what they can and can't do so far?
In terms of
like,
a lot of those kids are grown.
Yeah, my kid,
Okay,
my
so
youngest is like,
Kaladin's dad's like, you can't do that thing, and Kaladin's obviously passionate about it. But you're like, no, you're gonna do this life trajectory.
oh no, I don't
no.
know.
Yeah,
I
like
have
how does that
never,
work out ever for anyone?
no, I have never tried to steer myself. If they say they're interested in something and I feel like it's a good choice, I try to
Foster
support
it.
that.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
otherwise, I try to stay completely off. I'm like, hey, look, off hands. I'm gonna let you just do your thing. And if you start going like wildly down the wrong path, I will let you know. I'm like, I don't think you should get into
Yeah.
crypto
So
mining.
it's different. It's different different stages of raising kids. So like Alonda's in a completely different stage than I am. So like
Yes,
I have
that's true.
young kids.
Yeah.
So like my oldest is 6. So I'm like, and my youngest is 2.
That's
And
fair.
the 6-year-old's in a
It's very
different stage than
different.
the 2-year-old. I mean, so like the stages of parenting advice by the Cosme Reads. And I'm not saying I'm perfect at this, but this is just the way I raise my kids. And I view it as stages. Like, so whereas like right now the youngest is still in, we just try to keep them alive. I mean, that's when they're born. That's your goal as a parent. Just keep them alive.
That's your goal.
That's your goal. Keep them alive.
Yep.
My 6-year-old now, I'm in the stage where I'm really trying to be more of a teacher. So I am giving him life lessons. I am talking to him. I'm speaking some philosophy to him and going through hard times if he has problems with stuff and trying to guide him and mold him in different ways.
Right.
But once they get to like around this age, like 10 years old, you switch from, and especially once you get teenagers, teaching's over. You're not going to teach. You're not going to be able to really course correct. You maybe take the idea of being a coach more than anything else. We're going to work on these little things and like just kind of like, hey, I'm going to advise you, but you do you. Like once you get to that
you're
age,
raising a critical thinker at that point in time. That's
at that
all the
point,
purpose is.
So like the different stages, like keep them alive, mold them, and then let
Yep.
them go, and then fine tune. But like not at that point, you're not telling them what to do. You're just
You
like
ask us like, what do you think about that choice? Why did you make the decision? Do you think
why'd
it's
you
the
make the
best
decision?
choice
Okay,
for you?
yeah.
Is there a better choice you could have made in that situation? And then even retroactively, you say, well, you went through the thing. What would you have done differently if you had a chance to go back and do that again? That's kind of the way you do it. It's like, well, learn from this opportunity, not let me tell you what you should do.
Yeah,
because when you do that, it's like
that sounds very like
So
efficient.
I did this to my son. I did this to my for coworkers, people I've managed before too. It's the 1-3-1 philosophy. It's like it's 1-3-1. So like you have a problem. That's your one problem, right? Give me 3 solutions, and then you go and tell me what your one recommendation is, and then I'll just critique what I agree with that and give you maybe some counterpoints. But like that's how I raise my kids. Is like 1-3-1. What's your problem? What if come up with 3 different ideas? And you come to me with 3 different ideas, and then now you tell me which one of those 3 you think is the best.
Now, the only challenge I will say, Alan, is that I was always taught 1-2-1, and the reason why is because humans are binary. We love binary. It's like it's all about people get overwhelmed.
I give too much choice with 3. I'm sorry.
If you give 3 choices, they're like, what? My brain broke.
It's a good way. It's a good way of just course correcting and like saying like, all right, well, and let them also learn how to critically think themselves. Like I'm not going to give you a solution. Like you have a problem.
And give them
you tell me what you think. Yeah, come with a couple of ideas.
Right.
And let's talk about it.
So how would you handle this situation where, Kaladin's dad very clearly wants him to be a surgeon?
Not the same way Liren would. I mean, that's he's just saying
like
completely differently than what I would.
But it's also different. It's a different environment. It's a different era.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the way that they're treated because he's not making a lot of money off of surgery. It's almost like a charity situation, right? That he has to support his family by. It's not like, oh, I'm a surgeon and I'm like well respected in the community and what have you. So that's going to be hard for you to tell your son, hey, do this charitable thing like I do, but then have a lot of people not quite trust you or not really be appreciative of the work you do when you save 4 of this child's hand. Fingers on this child's hand, but the one gets messed up, and that's what she's going to remember the rest of her life, and that's what the parents can walk around and saying, well, he saved 4, but he could have did 5, that kind of thing. I mean, it just doesn't seem glamorous. So I can see where, counting me like, well, but this soldiering thing, you're going out kicking asses, and it's like, you the man. People like, respect you. You have swagger, blah, blah, blah. So again, it's a whole
glorified,
different,
right?
Yeah, it was
soldiers
very
so
glorified. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I just know
I
from
see
every
it.
story I've ever heard about a parent who's tried to force their kid into one direction or the other has never been successful.
No. Well, it's
Worst thing you can do is force
so
a
it
child.
depends on what stage of life they're into. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like it's easier to mold a child when they're young. But if you're trying to force them to be something when they're like 10, 11, 12, and like 16, forget about it. Like you're not gonna force a 16-year-old to do anything. In fact, it's gonna be the whole teenage angst and be like, yeah, fuck you, dad. I'm doing what I want.
Yep.
Like so
All you can do is just give all the advice that you know and say, hey, look, this is what I've learned from my experiences. Take what I have learned and like I've always said to my sons, do better than me. You know, I instead of you having to go out and learn the stuff I learned, I'm going to hand it to you on a platter and say, hey, here's the things that I figured out. You have to go out and do the things and like fail or be miserable trying to get to the answers, whatever.
But daddy, I want to be a bridge man. Oh, okay.
Oh, well, hey, I got a crew for you. You will love them. They're called cannon fodder. Get ready.
That just reminds me. I just want to dance.
Get ready, because here you come, cannon fodder. Here you come, cannon fodder. Here you come, arrow through the heart, cannon fodder. You come.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Cool. Being a parent sounds stressful. Good luck.
It's only stressful if you make it stressful because you put too much on yourself to be perfect.
That's
I mean,
true.
parenting is not an exact science, not even by the I mean, every kid's
for every
completely
child.
different.
Yeah.
Look, Alan, you got 3 kids. I got 3 sons. I mean, they are different as freaking night, day, and the dark side of the moon.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's like
my daughter, my middle child, is the honey badger of the group, and she doesn't give a fuck. Like she doesn't care. So like you cannot like.
She's my favorite.
She doesn't care. Like she'll sit there and just look at you like, okay, like my son, like I'll be like, all right, you can't play with your Legos if you don't do this or whatever. Like make some kind of consequence and he just loses it, and he course corrects because he's you tell her anything like that, she's like, all right, I don't care. Like,
oh my god, I think I was the honey badger child as well.
It's like, take it away. I don't care. What now? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like you put her in timeout and you see her and she's sitting there just smiling, like sitting on the
You're gonna lock me in my room? Oh no, that's where I want to be anyway.
Like I'm like damn it, this is supposed to be punishment. And like she's like,
that's when you gotta worry. When you put a kid in timeout and you see him just sitting there doing this.
Yeah. Just sitting there quietly. Not crying at all, just very, very, just completely content.
Get scared, because the thing I always tell people, the thing to be scared about is kids are a lot smarter than you give them credit for. They are observant and they are like absorbing everything around them, and they will use that against you, and they will play you like a fiddle.
Yeah. See, and I got it also awesome. I mean, those words were weird, but anyway, awesome. I was the youngest child, and I'm also a girl. So I got away with fucking everything.
What's the age difference though?
Okay, so my oldest brother is 7 years older, and my middle brother is 5 years older.
Oh yeah, that's pretty substantial. Yeah. That'll do it.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. Yeah.
They
were worried about real things, and they were just like, I don't care what you do.
I mean, you're talking about 10 and 12, and you at 5. Essentially, see, you're not treating the 10-year-old in the same orbit as like your 5-year-old. You're like, go out, do the thing. Your 10-year-old, you're like, I'm trying to make sure that you don't go out here and have the hormones. Yeah,
have the hormones.
I'm patenting that statement. I'm trademarking. I'm putting it on a t-shirt. Don't have the hormones.
Don't have the hormones. Just don't do it.
Next time I join a PTA, that's going to be like our slogan. It's just don't.
Just don't.
The hormones.
Like, don't do drugs, but
don't
do the hormones.
Don't sniff the things. That's actually, if I do a DARE campaign, it's going to be like really obscure statements like that. Like, don't sniff the things. Don't poke yourself.
Dumb. Don't
poke
dumb.
yourself. That's gonna be. Yep.
Yeah.
Don't smell things.
Yeah.
Don't rub things on your teeth.
Yeah.
That's an obscure cocaine reference. I'm just going to put it out there.
I heard you.
Just because, random Alondo thoughts. Why not?
I can't feel my face when
I can't feel my face right now.
But I love it.
But I love
how they have like kids
I
pop
love
singing that song on the weekend and like have no idea it's a cocaine song.
Yep.
Anyways, on moving on. So there was no epitograph on that chapter, but the next chapter there is. So anything from chapter? No, chapter 10 does not have an epitograph.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, that's right. Because it was like
this flashback. It was
9 years
ago.
Flashback.
It just was 9 years
that
ago.
Doesn't really count. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing it says. No,
fair enough.
So anything else from that chapter before we move to chapter 11?
No, I think we're
nope.
good.
All right, so it does have a epitograph. 3 of 16 ruled, but now the broken ones reign. Collected Chachachan, 1173, 84 seconds pre-death. Subject was a cut purse with the wasting sickness of partial Irali descent.
Chachachan.
That one was so weird, by the way.
Chachachan.
Sounds like an intro to like an epic movie company. Chachachan.
I think it sounds like a ninja going crazy with a sword.
Yeah.
That too.
Man, he
I
can't
need
do
like
it
one
quick.
of those really loud like things after
Yeah.
it, you know?
Oh, yeah,
And-
good call. Yeah. But that's all I could think of when you just said that. I was like, just a quick cut
Yeah.
with a sword.
So this one's called droplets.
It's called what? Sorry, Alan?
Droplets.
Droplets. Yeah,
Droplet.
that was the name of this one.
Yeah.
Alan,
So,
also, can I just say quickly before you do that? You didn't ask us what we were drinking today.
Oh, what are you
and
drinking
I
tonight?
was waiting
Oh, what
Ah.
you drinking,
What are you
Tree?
drinking?
because, well, I mean, it's gone now. But
Oh, no.
to go with Shallan's jam, a peanut butter whiskey.
Which one? Screwball?
Screwball. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
man. I can't have Screwball.
No, it's good.
It's just-
Once in a while, it's good.
It's too
It's really
sweet.
sweet, though.
Yeah.
It's so sweet. I'm like,
It's
oh,
like
thank you for
honey. It's
destroying
like the
my-
honey
I have to
whiskeys.
drink it like with a significant amount of ice because the ice kind of like melts and then it makes it a little bit more easier because it is kind of syrupy.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to
But-
destroy my adrenal gland.
Yeah, I just
Like, I
wanted
can't
to
drink
do
it.
the peanut butter whiskey with the Shallan's jam, and it was a whole thing, and you didn't even ask, and it's my first time drinking on this podcast.
So I'm going to
Shame.
recommend if you guys get it there,
Shame.
Bird Dog
Sean.
makes a chocolate whiskey. So if you can put the chocolate whiskey with the Screwball, but you got to put
Mhm.
just a little bit of
That sounds
Screwball. It
good.
doesn't take much. And you get a chocolate peanut butter joint. So it's like a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Mhm.
But put them two together. Little bit of ice if you can do that.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
try that.
I don't
But again,
usually go for
but back
sweet.
off the Screwball. It does not take much Screwball to go a long way. So
No, and I definitely don't like usually do sweet. I'm usually like I like sour cocktails if I'm gonna
Right.
do cocktail. Like a
Uh-huh.
whiskey sour is like my all-time like favorite comfort cocktail,
really,
I guess.
do
Yeah.
you make it with like the frothed egg white?
Okay, so when I make it, I just make like a really cheap lazy girl version. But when I
Okay.
go out, I'll go somewhere nice that actually knows how to make cocktails and get a really good one with
Gotcha.
egg white froth and everything.
Cool. Because, me and my bartending school experience, I love making fancy like cocktails. And so I'm
Mhm.
like, and that's like one
Oh.
of my, I love putting that thing together because I can shake it up and do the whole thing.
Yeah, it's fun. I
The
like it sometimes.
flair
Like
and-
I'll get into like a cocktail mood where I'll just like make a whole bunch. Like I'll have like friends over and stuff. So
Right.
Fun.
Very cool.
I can force them to drink my weird cocktails.
And I'm sure no one's complained.
I had red wine. But I do not
Oh.
anymore.
Nice. I had a bourbon barrel finished red wine that I had a
Mm.
little bit of earlier, but now I'm having Chattanooga whiskey. This is port cask finished
Ooh.
Chattanooga whiskey, which I can't get here in Virginia at all. Luckily, we
Okay.
were there when I went to go visit Uncle Nearest, so that's what
You
I'm
went-
having.
You went to Chattanooga recently?
Yeah, it was right before we went to South America. We
Okay.
popped in there, went to Uncle Nearest Distillery.
Chattanooga. Okay.
That's where I got my Uncle Nearest barrel and my Uncle Nearest distillery. Was it Master Distillers blend, which is like a one-off bottle. It like cost me an arm and leg, but I can't get it. I can't replace it or whatever. It's
Yeah.
gonna stay closed forever. I'm never opening it. But it's just the thing.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those collector's bottles. I'm happy I have it. It's sitting on my shelf over here. So
Okay. Cool.
And then my Uncle Nearest barrel, I actually put Copper Fox
Okay.
unfinished.
You like
whiskey
Copper
in
Fox?
there. I actually do. They have
Okay.
come a long way. I like everything they're doing.
I haven't tried
but
them
they
in
have-
years. And I didn't
They
like
have
them when they first came out.
unfinished whiskey that has not been like barrel aged,
Okay.
and so I have this little mini barrel now, and I put Copper Fox in there, and then I put all the mixings for an old fashioned in there, and so basically now it's just serves old fashioned. So now
Oh
if
my
I want
god,
old
that's
fashioned,
amazing.
Yeah.
I got a
when
little
Copper
spigot,
Fox.
and I just
Yeah.
open it up.
Orlando, that's amazing.
Do you want
I
to see the
love-
barrel?
Yeah,
I can grab it
do.
real quick. Give me a second.
Okay.
Okay. Fun. Barrel show
then-
off. Show and tell barrels.
Chapter 11.
Chapter 11. Yeah. There's a whiskey bar. Ooh.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah. It was right there. Quickness.
All right, so this is my barrel, and it says Uncle Nearest on it, and this is like a little barrel, and then you the little spout on top here, which you can't really quite see, but you pull this thing off and you fill it up, and then on the front it's got like a little spout, and I just like
Okay. That's
That's
serve.
amazing, Orlando. I want to
Old-fashioned.
come and drink an old fashioned out of your fancy barrel.
Oh, please
Is-
do.
is-
I mean,
is
this
that-
is
is
this is open invite for
It's,
this guy.
it's now barrel 4. It's not
Barrel
bridge 4. It's barrel 4.
4. I need to get that etched in the side now. I need to get this barrel 4.
Barrel 4. The next podcast we'll have we'll have Londo crying over his head running across the screen.
That's right. Just I gotta carry the barrel everywhere I go over my head. And just barefoot, by the way, just barefoot. Just
Barefoot. Yeah.
I love it. Barrel 4.
Oh. That's awesome.
Perfect.
That's
Anyway,
so
but yeah,
much
but I
making
just
whiskey.
I like putting
Barrel
like
for
stuff like
whiskey.
that in here. So it's like if somebody wants an old fashioned, and I love making old fashions. I mean, they can be kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Old
and blah, blah,
fashioned is
blah.
one of my favorite.
But
cocktails,
sometimes
too.
you just want to just have old fashions in a barrel and just be able to just put a brick of ice in a glass and just be like,
Absolutely.
"There's old fashioned for you."
I
Right?
always want old fashioned a barrel. It's amazing. I didn't know I wanted it until this moment, but like,
A lot of bars in this area have that. Alan knows. We've gone to Steak and Tonic. They have a bunch of
Uh-huh.
old fashions. They do in barrels just like
Yeah.
this. It's the same size.
that's so cool.
And it just makes a lot of sense. It's like, well, just pre-mix a cocktail in this, and now you're like saving your bartender a lot of time.
Steak and tonic is so good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But
You guys want to make me
that's still
hungry again?
not my favorite. Not my favorite whiskey
That's
bar.
right, we talk
Although
about
they have
food
good
a
whiskey.
bit, don't we?
My favorite local whiskey bar still, which is
Oh, Still is the best. That's the one I think I might have told you. Season 1, I told you I was
Yeah.
trying to get my name on the little plaque
black. Yeah,
to be up there. So what happens? You have to like drink like 30. You have to taste like 30 whiskeys, and you have to do
Ooh.
tasting notes on them. And once you do that, I think it's 30, and then you
Yeah.
get your
Yeah.
name in a brass
God.
plate posted on
That's
the wall.
amazing. That's right up my
So
alley.
still
Probably
like behind the
expensive
bar,
as
they have
heck,
all the
though.
bottles upside down like spigots. So
Yes.
like you just it's,
Like at a tequila bar where it's
Like a
like they have
bar.
like the spigots and then
Yeah.
yeah.
That's so cool.
that's a
But
whiskey
if
bar.
you do the 30, you get your name up there. I was
How much
on my
is it to do
way,
30,
but
though?
then
Do you do 30
I
all
don't
at once, or like
It-
you come back?
no,
and-
no.
No.
Please don't.
I
It is
feel like
not
I have a
professional.
challenge now. I have a personal
No, please
challenge.
don't do that. So I was doing it, and then my niece was born, and that became my priority is going up to visit my niece than it was to go to this whiskey bar, which I love, by the way.
Yeah.
So I was like, I guess I got to make decisions, priorities, and so I ended
Yeah.
up going, spending more
So
time
let's-
with her, which is great because I'm
Yeah.
like her favorite uncle and all that kind of
Mm.
stuff. So
Aw.
there's
You'd
priorities.
be my favorite uncle too,
Yeah.
Orlando.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm a pretty fun uncle. I ain't gonna lie. I like to
I
hang out.
believe
with
it.
And I love kids. Actually, when I was in the PTA and all that stuff, I love kids. I mean, so
Oh.
when people ask me to babysit, I'm like, not a problem.
Oh,
all
I'll
day
take you up on that.
You're the funkle.
Hey, dude. I remember one time there was some friends of ours, and they had 3 kids. I have 3 kids, and I had my kids which were young, and they were like, "Can you look after our 3 kids?" I was like, "Sure." I was like, "So and of course, you had to take 2 cars everywhere because it's like now, what, 8 of us,
Yeah.
trying to travel everywhere. I didn't have a minivan, but I mean, I loved it. It was like we just did all the stuff, and everyone wanted to do their own thing, and so we were like trying to choose places where everybody could just scatter and do their own thing and whatever. But yeah, I love it, and I love just young minds. I'm just like
That's great.
fascinated with them. Like, why are you the way you are? Oh, you like the thing.
I like kids too, like from a certain age.
Free babysitting's always a plus. It's one
Alan,
thing. So
if it ever comes up, dude.
So no, but we're good right now. So like, my wife and I go to a church, and the church we go to has actually a group of parents, and they're all on an email list. And the way they do it, starting January, is we're in the list too. Is like they divide you into 4 different groups. So every Wednesday night, one group gets the kids of all the other families. So you got the group of parents. So three Wednesdays out of the week, you get basically kid-free date nights or go out and just do adult things. And then one week a
Wednesday,
month,
you're just kid crazy.
Well, but you have a bunch of other parents too. Like I was like, dude, communities need to do this more often. This is a fantastic idea.
I think it's a brilliant idea.
And like the kids get to have fun too, right?
You don't have to pay for babysitting. Like, the kids have fun. They all get together every week. And
oh my gosh, all these kids together. Shoot, they keep themselves entertained.
Oh yeah.
What you do is just make sure you keep all sharp objects away from them. Including some sugar. They're good.
Just make sure nobody gets hurt.
If you want to find a parent group that works, that's the way to do it.
Oh, there you go.
Brilliant.
And then think about it, and they get to have all the date nights and all the stuff and time away from kids and be adults and shoot.
And you're not fighting.
Kids
over,
get a party every they get to hang out with all their friends
Yeah.
once a week. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
There you go.
Don't have to pay the
I imagine
babysitter.
that happens with communities with lots of kids too. Is like you all want a babysitter on the same night, like around holidays and stuff too, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
dude, that's
party
worth
time
it.
comes, all that stuff. Yeah,
To watch someone else's kids once a month to get 3. Yeah, that's
once a month.
Yeah, that's
Dude, I can
amazing.
do that.
Dude,
Perfect.
done and done.
Dude.
Like I was like,
Watch
sign me
9
up.
kids once a month. Hey, not a problem.
Yeah.
For sure. So anyway, droplets. Chapter 11.
Yeah, we have one
Kaladin's
chapter.
super depressed.
Oh, he was already down in the dumpers.
He was
Already
already,
known
but now he's finally reached the end of his rope.
So dejected. Yeah.
Yeah, so he leaves. It's still the high storm's still going. It's past its worst phase where you can actually. It's like probably the earliest you can go out, but it's still like the rain's coming down in sheets.
Right.
And he goes out and he sees Gaz. And Gaz is out there collecting spheres. Because I guess people leave him out during the high storm. Yeah, he says to recharge. And we don't know much about that. We know that Zeth
Right.
in
This
chapter
part
1,
really caught me off guard. I was like, wait.
we knew that Seth drained them by pulling in. Yeah, but so in high storms you can recharge your spheres.
Okay.
But it's really risky to leave them out because people can just go steal them. So
Right.
that's money. So
What Gaz is doing.
Mhm.
yeah. And walks past Gaz. Gaz stops and was like, "What are you doing?" Kaladin's like, "I'm going to Honor Chasm." And we learned kind of about the Honor Chasm is where if you kind of given up, it's considered it's where you just go throw yourself off a cliff.
So I got suspicious about this. Play the clip.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Anyway, I got suspicious when they said there was like the rope ladders going over the side. I was like, wait a minute. This sounds like fakery. Like they're just like going out there and they're not really killing themselves. But then it said quickly, that's for the people that go out and collect their clothes.
Yeah, collect the clothes and stuff. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess
Mhm.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
But that's a long way to go down to go collect some clothes. I mean, if
Yeah.
they're like throwing themselves off. I mean, didn't they
Yeah.
describe it earlier and make it sound like you don't see the bottom, but you can hear stuff ricochet off the sides of the chasm, but you really can't ever hear anything hit at the bottom. That's a long climb to go down to collect some clothes.
Yeah.
Well, Kaladin's like, it's like, well, first it's like, where are you going? You trying to run away? It's like, no, I'm going to the Kaladin's like, oh. Well, if you're gonna do that, do you mind leaving your stuff? Because
leave your vest and leave your shoes. I thought he was gonna be like smack, but no, he was like he took the vest off, shook it, dropped it, bloom, and then he like walked out the shoes. He was like deuces and walked off.
Yeah,
baller move, by the way.
Yeah, and so Cal gets to the chasm, and Syl appears. She probably comes back.
Which I was not expecting that.
Yeah. So he's about to jump, and Syl appears. He's like, "Hey, I brought you a present." And he's like, "What?" And he's like,
"What'd you bring me?"
She's like, barely can carry it. She's like, "I found this leaf. I know you're so sad when you lost the last one, but I went and found one for you." And he's like,
"I brought you this poisonous leaf.
Poison." And Kaladin's like,
"Is poison your favorite?"
I appreciate it, but do you realize what that is? Like.
I loved it though, the innocence that Syl has. I loved it. I was like, this is the cutest thing ever.
Yeah.
She's like, you like the poisons.
Yeah, you like the leaf. It's not I don't know why you like this black leaf. It's really ugly, but you liked it, and I got it.
Last time you lost it, you were mad.
Yeah,
here's the poisons.
It's like I just want to make you happy again.
It was very cute.
The innocence. I love the innocence. I liked it so much. Yes.
But Cal's still being all grumpy. He's just like, I fail at everyone. I fail to protect anyone. Anyone that comes around me dies. I just need to off myself because I'm just no good.
Oh yeah, he's down.
And Syl's just like
he's South Park emo guy. I can't even deal with this life right now.
He's like, well, he's like, why don't you stand up for yourself? Try to save people and save the bridgeman. He's like, they're just gonna die anyway. And like, my efforts aren't gonna help anybody.
Well,
but he finally has.
Gonna hurt if you try.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's it gonna hurt, Kaladin?
Yeah.
Wow.
You can't do anything wrong. It's already awful.
Exactly.
Yeah. King Volcanora has a theory about Syl and Spren. I'd be interested. But I know you're on chapter 18, so I don't know if I should share it yet here.
By the way. I know we glossed over this. The references to all the Spren. There's Pain Spren, Life Spren,
Rot Spren.
Rot Spren. Shoot, I'm trying to catalog them mentally, and I cannot keep them all straight. I really feel like
so there's a Spren for every emotion. There's a Spren for every element. There's a Spren for every creative Spren. A creation
right, but I'm even in these 4 chapters, there have been numerous Spren mentioned.
They're everywhere. There is an art I saw that does have drawings of all the Spren with their little names beside it.
That's cool.
That I think is pretty spoiler free, so I might find that and then send it to our little group chat.
I would put that as a wallpaper just to have all the Spren.
It's pretty. Like a sketching of it.
I would love that. Okay. And I like the fact that even they talk about what's the Spren that was actually, it's not Life Spren, but the one that's actually avoiding the raindrops. That's in this chapter, by the way.
I missed that.
It's a Spren that's avoiding the raindrops. It's dodging.
Dry
and I was
Spren.
like, what the heck?
There's wet Spren and dry Spren.
There's Life Spren. I mean, it's just like a Spren for everything.
I don't know. I really did like the imagery that Sanderson added here about the droplet specifically, about how Kaladin said they all look like they're just falling to their death, right? When he was thinking about jumping. So the droplets.
Wait, say that again? The droplets, right? That's right. And he says there's millions of droplets all
falling to their death,
committing suicide essentially. Yeah.
That was how dark his brain is right now. That's
right. And I didn't know if he was referencing the drops that were coming directly from the rain or the droplets that hit the ground and then bounce off into the chasm.
Maybe that.
Because I was like, that's actually really insightful if that's the reference he's making, is you were alive for a second, you hit ground, but then you bounced up off of the ground and then went into the chasm. I'm like, that's even worse, so because that's where his mind state is.
Yeah. It was like dark, but it was also beautiful.
I mean,
I found a list of all the different Spren.
Oh, really?
Yay,
Yeah.
Alan!
So there's agony Spren, anger Spren, anguish Spren, anticipation Spren, anxiety Spren, all Spren, chaos Spren, concentration Spren, exhaustion Spren,
gosh.
fear Spren, gloom Spren, glory Spren, joy Spren, laughter Spren, pain Spren, passion Spren. That's a tongue twister. Shame
So many
Spren,
Spren.
shock Spren, ash Spren, cold Spren, heat Spren, gravity Spren, cultivation Spren, flame Spren, ground Spren, light Spren, mist Spren, rainbow Spren, rain Spren, river Spren,
Rainbow Spren.
any wind Spren, bind Spren, captivity Spren, creation Spren, death Spren, decay Spren, high Spren, honor Spren, hunger Spren, ink Spren. Yeah, it goes on and on and on. I mean, this list is like really.
You're only in
We
the
just heard
eyes,
about
by
Death
the way.
Spren in the
Yeah.
last chapter. Like Kaladin's dad was saying, you can see the effect it has on Rot Spren, but you can't see Death Spren.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the reason why he had the water near the door.
Yeah, to
Was
clean.
to keep away Death Spren.
Yeah.
But Rot Spren was easier for them to get rid of.
Yeah.
But Kaladin thought of Death Spren as a demon, not as a Spren.
Ooh.
Right.
Which I
And
thought
it's
was
odd that
interesting.
they can't see that even though they know it's there. So I'm wondering if it's like a person who is on the brink of death and then bounces back enough to tell them what they saw.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just fascinated with the fact that there's like all these Spren, but they're visible at times depending on what's going on.
Yeah.
And depending on the person.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not all represented the same way, which I find interesting.
Yeah.
So how do you know what it is? Because
They look different.
Yeah. I think just life experience.
Yeah.
Like,
look at the Spren that like what manifested itself as a table that moved weirdly. I mean, so
look at the bones. Look at the bones.
That's right. I mean, yeah, it's like, how do you know what kind of Spren it is if it's manifested as a table?
yeah. I'm sure there's people who have spent their lives studying Spren, right? Kind of like
Might
Shallan
be.
and Jasnah
Yeah.
as a scholarship kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So basically he comes to the conclusion that his actions can't hurt anybody else because they're going to die anyway. So he pretty much comes to the conclusion that he's already dead and decides not to kill himself because he's already dead. And goes back to camp and he runs right into Gaz and immediately like slams to the ground. He's like,
dude.
Gaz is like, what the hell's going on? He's like, just letting you know I'm already dead. I went
throat
down.
slammed him though.
He's like,
he
I thought
throat
you were gonna die.
slammed him.
He's like, I did
He picked
die.
him up by the throat. He was like,
Yeah.
WWE, here we go.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, because of course he's been carrying bridges, so he's got that Popeye power.
Yeah.
Get my spinach.
Yeah. And he says, listen, I'm already dead. Nothing you can do to me is going to hurt me more. I'm already dead. So he's like, but you're going to listen to me. And this is what you're going to do. Like, if you want to live, this is what you're going to do. I'm going to kill you right now unless you do this. And he's like,
live.
all right. He's like, you make me leader of Bridge 4.
Yeah.
And he's
Just
like,
so you know,
okay,
Bridge 4 is
done.
mine now.
Bridge 4 is mine. He says, I have full control of it.
Because he ain't
all
asking.
of it.
He ain't asking. He taking now.
He taking.
Right?
He's like, and I'm going to take my wages. And he says, I'm going to actually give a fifth of my wages back to you, pay you just so your compliance.
Yes.
So I'm going to keep you on my payroll.
Right. Which ensures you protecting me because now I'm your cash cow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's making sure he gets his money. Kaladin gets his money so that Yelp can get his money. Yeah.
Boom. There it is.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's a good scene.
Yeah. And then
So
Kaladin goes back.
and Shallan both get a win.
Yeah. And then Kaladin goes back inside the barracks and goes to the first bridgeman, and bumps him. He's like, hey, what's your name? He's like, yeah, screw off, man. I'm like, none your business. He's like, no, for real, what's your name? I'm going to be on bugging you till you tell me. And I says, who are you? He's like, I'm your new bridge leader. Tell me your name. He's like, my name's Teft. And he's like,
Teft.
all right.
Woo!
Yeah. Don't give spoilers.
Yeah, he collects all the
What?
names.
I'm not
so-
giving spoilers.
Yeah, he starts
It's
collecting all the
not a
names of all the
spoiler. I
bridgemen.
mean,
Yeah,
look. There's no spoiler there because I noticed that was the only name
named bridgemen.
of
Yeah,
all the people that he mentions the actual name. I was like, Tef,
Yeah,
I'm remembering that. I was like,
exactly. That's what I'm excited about.
because
I
he
don't
didn't.
remember
It's
names.
not like he like went and said, "What's your name, Teft? What's your name, Duckhead? What's your name, Fluffle Bunny? What's your
Yeah,
name?"
it doesn't
It's like
matter.
if he had given me all the names, I'd be like, "You're all fodder. Who cares?"
Yeah, but he got tapped.
He said one name, Teft. I was like,
Yeah.
locking.
yep.
Boom, it's getting locked.
Yeah,
Right
Alan,
there.
I
He's like-
cannot
it's like-
remember names
it's like
of people.
Okay. Yeah, so
No,
we
I
need a good night's sleep. He's like, because tomorrow we have the day tomorrow. He's like, what's tomorrow? He goes, yeah. He's like, yeah, we're gonna get up
He
and
got
start
all
doing
the
some
names.
What
things.
happens
all the
tomorrow? The
bridgemen.
same thing we do every day,
Every day.
Pinky.
Yeah.
Try to take over the world.
We're gonna be bridgemen
We're gonna be bridgemen.
every day. You have to be ready for.
Yeah.
So now Kaladin's now squad leader again. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think?
We knew it was
love
gonna
it.
happen eventually. No, he was. You said again. He was never squad leader.
No, in
He
the
wasn't the
was
beginning?
squad leader before.
In the very beginning, he was squad leader.
Yeah,
Before
in
we
like
got
the
slave
prelude.
in the first chapter or whatever.
Oh,
when,
I'm talking about Bridge 4.
Oh yeah. No, he's never squad leader for before. But
I'm saying
he had his
Bridge
whole
4?
crew
No.
back before he was a
No,
slave.
But he was squad leader before, and
No, he
whoever's
was.
army
He was
he
the
was
man
in.
back in the day. Back when
Yeah.
when he was like his boy, little boy Tien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other kid.
Sen, I think.
Yeah.
Huh?
What's his name? The other kid's name's Sen. The
That's
one he
Sen,
saved
yeah.
in the prologue. Yeah.
And the prologue.
Sen
But
reminded
Tien,
him.
it
Of
reminded him of Tien, yeah. But his name
Yeah.
is
Oh,
Sen.
remind him. Okay, got it. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Right.
I remember Tien because it's actually a Dragon Ball Z character named Tien.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's how we end this chapter with him going around and getting all the bridge crew's name and saying we're gonna start doing some shit differently here.
Yeah.
In part 1.
We did it.
We did it. Yeah.
It was a lot. It was awesome. I love that.
It was a lot, but it was good.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I actually thought like the Shallan thing was broken up, right? That's why I was like, I'm so confused. Why are you talking about this now,
Yeah.
Alan? I thought that was like the last chapter, but no, it
No.
was just a really long
It's
chapter.
a long chapter.
It was long. It was
Yeah.
the longest chapter of the chapters we read. Yes, it was like 45 minutes audio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
So
was like 20, 22, something like that.
hmm I like that we end part 1 with like a little bit of hope for both of
Yeah.
our main characters.
I
I feel like
Will that continue?
that's becoming a really common thing. I feel like it's like a little bit of hope happens at the
Yeah.
end of part
Just a
1.
trickle.
So I gotta ask you guys, and this has nothing to do with but preference. So for next week, we have the interludes between parts. There's I think 3 of them.
There's 3 of them. Yep.
There's 3 interludes. We can just do the interludes, although I'll give you this non-spoiler spoiler. They have nothing to do with the rest of the story yet. So completely different. And we can just talk about the interludes. But originally I had chapter 12, so starting the part 2, but it'll end on a massive cliffhanger. So
Let's do that. I want that.
You want that? Okay.
Armando, you're glad
I'm sorry. I've
Punishment, punishment? Are you doing a whole week? All
I
right.
love the idea of cliffhangers because then it gets me excited for the next episode.
Okay.
It gets our
It's gonna
it gets
land
our
on a
listeners excited for the next
massive
episode.
cliffhanger. Okay.
I like your cliffhanger.
All right, so we'll do
Go.
interludes in chapter 12.
Tree, you're more than welcome to override me.
Yeah.
Please
No, I'm
feel free.
fine with it. I like
You
it
sure?
because I want to hear your cliffhanger thoughts.
Okay, because I love cliffhangers because it like keeps me anticipating and thinking, and I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen with the thing and the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like a baby cliffhanger because it's only going to be a week, right? It's not like we have to wait for a new book to come out,
Right?
anything like that. So,
Yeah.
It's a really good cliffhanger. Yeah, it is.
ooh, I'm excited.
So, favorite character before we get to that?
Yelp.
Okay.
Dang it,
Hey, you told me to go first last
I
week.
did. So I have no hate on you for doing that. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go ahead and just. This is gonna be weird. I'm gonna go with Jasnah actually.
Oh, yeah, okay. The gaslighter.
Because I
herself.
mean, I feel like she's going through something we don't know.
Okay.
she's like dealing with some emotional things, blah blah
Mhm.
blah, and then she came out and she was like, "I'm gonna take you in. I'm gonna bring you in," and I'm like, "There's a lot more going on here than we know. I don't know what is troubling her, but I'm curious. You guys hear that clicking? That's the fan in my computer making that noise.
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
I
A
hear
little
it.
bit.
Yeah, that's the fan. That's that defective
Okay.
fan in my computer.
So you got
Yeah.
Jasnah. I'll give it to Syl.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to Syl.
Yeah, Syl's cool. I mean, you know,
So
she came
Syl
with the
coming
dead
back and
leaf.
being the leaf.
She came with
I
the
feel like
deadening leaf.
week-
I'm gonna call it the deadening leaf. She's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, have the
Hey.
deadening leaf." And
I
it'll,
got
feel
your
like
favorite
every week
thing.
one of us
I
needs
get
to
your
pick
favorite
Syl.
thing. Yeah.
yeah, Syl's. I think I wait. Did I choose Syl one time? I think I chose Syl.
Last time. And I chose Syl
Right.
first, even though we didn't know her name yet.
Right, but I chose Syl last time, and I feel like she gets one from me, and that's it. Never choosing her again.
We'll see about that.
No, I'm not. No. I never choose like the basic, like the easy peasies. No, I knew you were gonna choose. I knew you were gonna choose Yaub, though. I was like, yeah, you're gonna choose that guy.
Yes.
And there is nobody else that I was really like excited about. But Jasnah, I feel like there's like a lot to that story, and I'm curious.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So next week we'll be doing
Another
the three interludes in the first chapter of part 2.
Cool.
So interlude 1 is Ishik. Interlude 2 is Non-Balat. Interlude 3 is The Glory of Ignorance. And then we start part 2, which is called The Illuminated Storms, with chapter 12, Unity. And I will give you this one little spoiler. We are having chapter 12 completely new characters that have nothing to do with anything we talked about so far. So yay! For new characters.
You are a
new
monster.
plot lines.
You sadist. How dare you, sir? How dare you?
Enjoy.
Oh no.
New plot lines. Yeah.
Oh man. Wait. And I know what the answer to this. There's gonna be a time jump, isn't there? There's gonna be a time jump.
It might take place at the same time.
Let's do
8
it.
months
Time
later. I'm
warp
waiting for 8 months
again.
later.
Yeah.
Let's do the time warp again. Clearly, I don't actually know the dance to that song. Just go with it.
Yeah.
Hey, is that Ian? Is that Ian in the
Ian's in
chat?
chat.
Ian, what's
Ian.
up, man? That's what's up.
Ian comes
Hey.
right at the end.
He's gonna read along with us. I think he's read this book before, but I think he's gonna.
Oh, okay,
restart.
good deal. Good
I'm
deal.
telling him
Ian,
he needs
have
to
you
restart.
Yeah.
Has
Just
Ian
been so
done all
long.
of Stormlight or just Wave
No,
Kings?
he just did Way Kings. He never did Words of
Ooh.
Radiance. I don't think.
Oh my gosh,
So-
that's exciting.
Good deal. Yeah,
He did
you know,
Way Kings,
I
and he
love
was-
all of
he was-
our.
He was still suffering from the end of Mistborn, and he started Way Kings, and he's like, he did all of it, and he's like, I can't do it anymore. I'm still suffering from Hero of Ages. So I get
Oh
it.
yeah, that makes sense.
So I think he's at a place where he can actually get in the Stormlight now. So yeah.
Do it, Ian. Do
But
it. We're here with you.
I love our Reeds family
Our Reeds family
all
the
day
Reeds.
long.
Too.
Yes.
All the Reeds. All
Yes.
the Reeds. Yeah, I can't immediately move. I finish my book. Too much emotions. Yeah. I can't move
Yeah,
on.
I can see that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
needed a big break after Mistborn as well. It was a
Yeah.
lot.
There's a lot. It's a lot.
I went and I read The House on the Cerulean Sea because nothing bad
I've heard
happens
of
in that
that.
book.
I've heard of
Right.
that. And I've
Yeah.
not read it, but
Trust in the Emerald Sea? You said
No.
trust? Is that what you said?
No, The House on the Cerulean
House on
Oh,
the
Sea.
how's
Cerulean
I think you said trust in the Emerald Sea. I was like, oh
No.
All right.
No.
No, I haven't read Tress. No.
House on Cerulean Sea. I've heard of
Well,
it.
Trust is coming. We'll do trust.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Tress. I don't know if it will make me sad or
We
not.
we are doing that in between this and Words of Radiance. So yeah,
Oh.
trust.
Okay.
Anyway, that's really all I got for this week. Unless you guys have more you want to add.
No, I think it's been
How
always
are you-
fun.
How are you enjoying Stormlight so far, Orlando? That's what I want to know. We'll do a little check-in after part 1.
Ooh, oh, that's right. Yeah, you did ask me if we hit the end of part 1 what I thought about the change in
Yeah.
planet,
Yeah.
etc. it's taking me a little bit of time to get used to it.
Sure.
But now I'm getting used to the interjections of all these things that I don't know, so I'm starting to pay attention to them a little bit more, like the sprints, for example, things like that. Names, I'm still getting a little bit acclimated to. The world in general, I'm starting to kind of figure out. So let's just wait until the next time when I hate you for actually putting us in another part that actually has no contingencies with the previous part we just read.
They
That
all
would be
come
great.
together eventually. The plot lines.
Sure, they will. Right, right.
Big happy
So
family.
basically, we've been learning algebra, and now we're gonna go into trigonometry. Okay,
Calculus.
got it.
Calculus.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
Calculus.
Oh, we're going right to calculus. Great.
We're going
Oh, right to calculus. Oh,
Yeah.
wait. I'm sorry. I didn't know I need to bend over and lube.
Weird plants, animals, weather. Yeah. So yeah.
You should always be prepared for that, Alondo. Come on.
Roshar is a weird planet. It's definitely weird plants. So actually, Brandon Sanderson actually describes in Arcane Unbound about Roshar and why it's so different. But it's actually science behind it. It's cool.
So the thing that has been plaguing me this entire time is I really was hoping for explanation for the plants that actually retracted as the wagons are moving with the slaves in the back. I'm like, they moved out the way. And I'm like, what kind of plant life is this that actually can retract that quickly out of the way?
Planet where you have perpetual giant storms that come through, and they've evolved to react into any kind of stimulus that could be harmful to retract. That's the explanation. Is they've evolved to do that.
Like that in our world too.
There are, yes,
like,
yes.
I can't think of names, but like even think of
there are some
like
plants
a Venus flytrap, right? Like if
I knew you were going to go there, right?
So it makes sense for a plant to evolve to move out of the way or to get shelter, like if they feel like a rumbling or some kind of stimulus.
Yeah. Right, but those plants though that can do that typically can only do so like it's like it does a one-time thing, and then the retraction or the regression back to the other state
is slow.
Takes hours.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and that's very much the Venus flytrap situation,
and so I'm like,
right? Like they can even they don't like do this. It's still kind of like
it's a slow
that, right?
So I'm just curious about that. So I was like, are they magical? Are they spring?
They call the Wait
operated? That's it's spring operated. See how I did that? That's a punny thing. But yeah, I didn't know how that worked, so I'm curious. I got all the things about it.
Feed me, Seymour.
Feed me now.
Does it have to be human?
Yeah. So the Dane trees are wait-a-while trees is what they call them. In Australia. They have vines that grow on them, and they're called wait-a-while trees because they're notorious plants. They have spiny leaves that when you walk past or brush past them, they will jab into you. And then if you try to pull away, it'll like rip apart, watch your skin. So you have to wait a while, and then slowly they'll retract and let you go.
Oh, Australia.
Yeah, Australia, the land that will do everything to kill you.
So if you brush against the tree, these vines sprint will like jab into you, and then they'll slowly retract away from you if you just wait a while.
Oh my god!
So they call them wait a while trees in the bush.
Wow, that's cool.
So yeah, the trees you don't want to brush against because you'll have to sit there for a while, or you're going to rip off a part of your arm.
Yeah.
So that's
why I've never been for a while to go back to school just to do horticulture.
Feed me,
sorry,
little chaperone.
I love Australians. Y'all my people, but not wanted to visit your land yet.
Like Australians have to be like some of the bravest.
Now, some of the biggest, most poisonous spiders they have there don't really come after people, but still, it's enough.
Ian, I'm gonna need you to elaborate on that comment, please.
What, on the spiders?
No, Australia love black spiders.
Okay. I got all
Send
the
Ian
thoughts,
the
Ian.
StreamYard link. Let's get him on here.
Yeah,
New podcast.
new
That one's
podcast
over.
right
Next
now.
podcast,
Started. I gotta
Ian's
go to
love
bed
life.
soon. We're wrapping this up.
Oh, we are
You
way
guys-
past my bedtime.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we're past bedtime.
All right,
yeah.
Ian, let's hop
I
into
apologize
Discord
in-
chat.
I apologize retroactively for all the departures from.
Okay, you just explained they're both
Ian.
trying to kill him.
Oh, so of course.
There you go.
There you go. That's
All right,
Also-
Ian, I'll meet you in the Badger's Burrow, okay?
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh,
I don't have
close to-
clothes on. None. Ooh.
You don't have
That
to put
is-
your video on.
That is a new look.
It's after lunch.
Oh, see now, me and Tree started undressing, but we stopped after one piece of clothing.
It's past that.
Ian was like, "Hold my beer."
But this is part
Anyway.
one. One piece of clothing for part one. Who knows
What
what's
the-
going to happen?
Oh,
in
hey,
part
that's
two?
right. That's right. You don't know what's gonna happen later. It's
Part
gonna be
two.
like it's gonna be podcast after dark. Whoa.
Cosmere after dark. All right, the reads after dark.
Yeah, Cosmere after dark.
All right. Well, let
Um,
Alan go to bed.
anyway.
I'm sorry, Alan.
Yeah. All right. So
what
how
happens
can be
when I just
found?
see.
Yeah. So how it can be found is at thecosmereads.com. It's a website that has links and cool stuff. But you should like and subscribe to the YouTube or to whatever podcast platform you listen to it on, because it helps out. Make some comments, do all the fun things, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, new merch coming. So
Oh, cool. New merch. Nice.
Yay.
Eventually.
Oh,
Good
yes.
time.
I have to send you
yeah,
that.
you do. All right. All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching the Cosmere Reads.
God stinks, God stink fresh. God stinks, God stink fresh.